Welcome to Fullerton College Football on SportsNetUSA.net. Hey, I'm Mark Pavlovich. Today I'm along with Ryan Osborne as we're here for homecoming. That's right, the 1967 national champions. They're back, but they're not playing today, Ryan. It's the team that's on the field. So let's take a look at the team that's on the field. This Hornet team that's undefeated going against a Saddleback team that's really looking for a victory against them. You go back 4 years. This game has been determined in the last 30 seconds, and the largest spread, 5 points. So when we look at today's game, this Hornet team needs to come out fast, they need to come out furious, and they need to stop Saddleback, because we don't want another one where it's the last person who's got the ball, the last one standing, could win this game.
Well, you just take it back to last season. For Fullerton College, their only loss on the year was against Saddleback, and that was a loss in which they suffered a 3-point deficit, 30-27 in the last minute. 38 seconds left, they're able to get on the board. But this is a Saddleback team that is reeling because they had their first loss against Ventura, in which they gave up 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, and they ended up taking their first loss on the year. Last week, they get a 27-point victory.
Well, and when you talk about them reeling, you flip it over and you look at a Fullerton College team that goes down to Grossmont, and you keep asking yourself, how can they keep improving? You're one of the hosts of the Coaches Show. Offense starts off hot for the year. Defense struggles. Then defense goes on and throws a shutout against Moore Park and then gives up a measly 9 points down at Grossmont. But who shows up? Special teams all of a sudden comes up. Of course, you got Justin Manyweather out there that can take it home anytime, and now they can block it. So you sort of look and say to yourself, hey, what can they do next? I'm going to ask you, what can they do next as a football team?
Well, as a football team, one thing to your credit, like you said, the special teams has worked so well. They have blocked exceptionally, and that's something that we got told by the coaches during the week, is the fact that the special teams has really showed up blocking-wise, allowing those lanes to be open for Justin Manyweather. If there's one area that they can improve on just a little bit, it's the defensive backs, who have given up a couple of big plays. We saw it especially in that matchup against Canyons. They do it to Saddleback today, they're going to be in trouble. Well,
and when you talk about the big plays, I mean, that's what Saddleback is. They're not really a running football team. They use the running game for balance, so that you're not going to come from the corners or maybe unleash your Mike back up the middle at them. So they really are a passing football team. 14 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions this year. Great balance out there. So defensively, Brian Crooks' defensive line, which has been outstanding, the linebacking core, which has been good, and the defensive backs, which have sparked the last 2 weeks, need to find a little magic between all of them, and the 11 need to take away that passing attack against Saddleback.
Well, you take a look at the defensive line for Fullerton College. They're led by 2 guys in Montre Bonner and Jamichael Moore. Jamichael Moore has 3.5 sacks. Montre Bonner has 4. However, Mark, when you look at both of them, you see that both of them haven't had a sack in their last 2 matchups. Jamichael Moore had half a sack. That was 2 weeks ago in that matchup against Moore Park. Fullerton, if they want to be able to get to the quarterback for Saddleback and cause havoc, the defensive line has to be there. They have to penetrate the backfield. If the defensive line can't get into the backfield, it allows Saddleback to just relax, take a deep breath, and then they can control their offense.
Well, and at Cam Humphrey is the quarterback for Saddleback. He's throwing at a 62% rate. It's actually 62.9, so let's give him 1. Make it 63%. This young man can pull it down. He's a typical pro quarterback style when you look at this Saddleback team. And they have wide receivers that can go get the football. So when you look at this game, well, you said you had found a group that you were basing the hopes, if you're a Hornet fan, you're basing the hopes on, and that group is whom?
It would be the offensive line. You look at Muhammad Jefferson, Delton Crandall, James Stanton, Eric Pulliam. If those guys can be on point today, if they can make sure that the defensive line of Saddleback doesn't get into the backfield, it will help not only the running game, but also Ladarius Skelton. He can escape. The offensive line has to watch for this Saddleback defensive line. Saddleback has over 20 sacks on the season. Only 2 of them have come from their linebacking core. 70% of their sacks on the year have come from the defensive line. If Saddleback's defensive line gets into the backfield, Fullerton is going to have to be a lot more wary when you're looking at Skelton coming out of the backfield or Wilson trying to throw.
And, of course, like we said, today is homecoming. The 1967 championship team, the national championship team. And when we look at the 1967 championship team over there, Ryan, you and I have watched the highlights all year long. We talked to Jim Fossil earlier about that 67 team. And when you watch them, they ran a power sweep, or you could ride student body right, student body left. They were 6'4", 185 pounds. Jim Fossil told us that he was one of the tallest quarterbacks on the community college level at 6'2". You know what? If we get in trouble, there's still some guys over there I might grab, sneak them down to the field next to you, and put them on there. Pretty impressive. You got to talk to a few before this game started today.
Yeah, and I got to talk to an offensive lineman who ended up being all-conference in Ray Ogus, and you can see the 1965 national championship team right there. Just off to our right, Ray Ogus said this is a matter of you can't compare different eras, because back then guys were a lot smaller altogether, not as quick. It was more positional. But now you look at the guys today, it's all about height. It's all about speed. It's all about strength. And that was something that he highlighted in his interview with us for the Coaches Show. Fullerton College in 1967, 12-0, undefeated season. They go up against San Diego City, the #1 team in the nation in Bakersfield, and then also take down American River.
Well, when you talk about teams during that era, the longest college winning streak was brought to an end against that San Diego Mesa team. Of course, I did an interview with Hal Scherbeck when we talk about the longest national championship winning streak. And I said to Hal in my interview, now, I got told that the referees weren't going to let you win. And that's what broke your winning streak. And Hal Scherbeck said, well, let's put it this way, Mark. They didn't score then, and they still haven't scored now. You know what's nice about this, too, is we get to see all the guys from the 67 team. We're lucky. I mean, the women would like what we get here. All the guys are coming in and changing their shirts in front of Ryan and I. And I'm telling you something. You look at these men from the 67 team, Ryan Osborne, if you look that good this many years later, which is 50, I'm not sure you'll get there, but if you look that good at 50 years old, I'm going to say you were one of the greatest announcers that ever came out here.
Well, Mark, if I look that good right now, I'd be happy, okay? This is a 1967 national championship team. You mentioned it earlier. They were gritty. They were strong. They could go up against different opponents, and they ran the table in conference. They beat Golden West. They beat Orange Coast. And in their matchups, it wasn't just something that was close. They dominated other teams en route to their championship.
So we're getting ready for the game to start. Of course, like all good talent, some people just show up, walk in front of the camera. That's after they have their meal, while the rest of us didn't get any. Oh, yeah, it is. We were rushing and covering for our slow tight end.
We were like defensive backs, Mark. We were trying to get back, cover the big play.
You know, some of us were working while some of us were just taking their time getting here. But we don't want to even talk about that person. Let's talk about this Hornet team as we get ready for the captains of the day's team scores. We see Kane Wilson and Ladarius Skelton. Marcus Grossman is out there, and this is real interesting. We talked to Marcus Grossman. Didn't know if Marcus was going to be playing. Marcus said if he could do anything to make it possible, Ryan, he would show up for today's game and make it out there. And of course, Delton Crandall's out there with him as one of the captains, and Cole McCartney is out there. So those are the captains, and I'll let you get those captains for that Saddleback team.
Yeah, and for Saddleback, they're going to start off with Corey Marabojo in addition to owner Kolasi, and they're joined by Babak Gadaksaz and Daryl Wyrick.
So we'll see what happens here as they shake hands. Ryan will get ready with 5:22 to go. Remember, this game, all our games here on sportsnetusa.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Looking for that newer used Toyota? Miller Toyota of Anaheim is the place to go shopping. Make sure you stop at Miller Toyota. They're a proud sponsor of high school sports, community college sports, and most of all, education. And of course, the other place to go, well, Ryan, we had one of our fans show up and said, I'm going to buy Zombie Donuts because, Mark, I watch all the time, and you talk about them. I tell you what, Zombie donuts is that delicious, spooky little taste that you get from a donut shop that can give you a variety of donuts that everybody should try. And, of course, a new sponsor coming on the air today is the Doghouse. And that works for me because I tell you what, some of us love hot dogs. That's me. I could take a chili dog. Ryan Osborne could throw a little cheese on top of him. Could throw some maybe Cheetos on top of that hot dog, the whole 9 yards. Doghouse, located at 255 East Chapman Avenue in Fullerton. One of the new sponsors here on sportsnetusa.net.
When you look at these two teams, Mark, Saddleback and Fullerton, it's almost like looking at mirror images of one another on the defensive side. Fullerton giving up 16.2 points per game. Saddleback just a little bit more at 22 points per game, but yardage-wise, they're very similar. Fullerton, on the defensive side, what do they have to do to be able to keep down that offensive Saddleback?
Well, I tell you what they need to do is the defensive line needs to keep bringing the rush. I think you've got to play the linebackers straight up. I don't think Brian Kurtz is going to blitz that often. The defensive backs need to stay on the back shoulder. They have the tendency to cut underneath and try to undercut a pass. When they do that, a pass goes over the top, and that's when they've been beaten this year. So if they can stay on the back shoulder defensively, they should be able to play Saddleback pretty straight up in this game. Saddleback comes on the field as we get ready for our team, and like we said, it's homecoming. We got 35 from that 1967 team. Richie and Ryan will be grabbing a couple during the game. And don't forget the coaches show later on next week. You already got a bunch of those players on the air here on sportsnetusa.net as your number one reigning national champion Fullerton College Hornets take the field here at Shapell Stadium. Guys, I'm going to say it flat out. Biggest game of the season. Saddleback wins. Changes maybe the playoff picture a little. For Saddleback, it changes it hugely. I'm stealing for Corey Neyland. Hugely, it's going to steal and make it a change. Because then all of a sudden you look at the Hornets and everybody that's at 2 losses right now. You get put in that category, 1 loss, they're right on your hip. We'll see what happens as this game goes on.
Yeah, and one of those reasons, Mark, Fullerton, if they were to lose today, they would be a 1-loss team. Saddleback, if they were to lose, they'd be a 2-loss team, which is huge because Mount Sac, we already know, last week they lost to Long Beach City College, and Bakersfield is just sitting at 1 loss as well.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens as they get ready, as we're going to get ready for our national anthem here on sportsnetusa.net. Well, Ryan Osborne, I'm going to say goodbye to you. I'll see you down on the field. Corey Neyland's going to come on the air with me in just a second here on sportsnetusa.net. So we'll have interviews still going on as Corey Neyland comes here right now. We're missing our spotter today, Gabby Neyland, who couldn't make the game. Makes me feel a little uncomfortable. She's my good luck charm. That's why I'm uncomfortable. Because realize, you look at the record, when I had my spotter sitting behind me, you look at the record and the ring with Gabby Neyland sitting behind me in the booth here. Also missing a very good friend of ours, and I don't know if he's over with the team, across the way, Corey. Tommed up. Not had her. Saddleback is going to receive the ball first. So Wyrick back deep. With DeMarcado. So Wyrick and DeMarcado back deep. Curl takes it up to the 20. So Jake Curl.
So, Mark, it should be a good one. I listened to you guys talk, and what an exciting game this is. Up front for the Hornets, JaMichael Moore, Montre Bonner, Oscar Bergueno, and Joey Noble, the front four for the Hornets.
Cam Humphrey. And I think they changed quarterbacks. I mean, I got told that Humphrey was going to play, and Humphrey is the quarterback. It's Max Gillen at quarterback as we take the first play. Gain of 1 on the play. So different quarterback, Corey. I got told right at the beginning of the game.
Max Gillen.
We'll see who starts.
Goes around the right side.
Chased out of there by Oscar Bergueno, or excuse me, Joey Noble. So Fullerton, the linebackers, Cody Darrow, the middle linebacker, near side 3-2 is Caleb Johnson, and the far side it looks to be Roy Otto, and it is number 51. The corners near side, Taj Jones gets a start, 37-27. On that far side for the Hornets is going to be DeJuan Dorsey, and the safeties, Jacob Jones near side 42, and it looks like it's David Farmer, number 31 in gray.
Clinton Allen out wide to left. In the slot on the left-hand side is going to be Davis. Gillum at quarterback. 2nd down and 10. Gillum looking over here. Throws it to Davis. Davis gets it at 25. Stays on his feet. Gets all the way out to the 35-yard line.
And that's going to be what Saddleback does. They like the out patterns. They like to get the running backs. You'll see their running game is a lot like Fullerton's. Yeah, they can run the ball, but a lot of those running backs and those short yardage passes, 5-yard outs, running backs on the wing, on the outside, wheel routes is going to be what's effective for Saddleback.
So Gillum at quarterback. Mercado, the deep setback. Out wide to left is going to be Allen. In the slot on the left-hand side is going to be Davis. Out wide to the right, it's going to be Spearing.
And the offensive line for the Gauchos will be Brandon Smith out of Desert Oasis in Nevada. Corey Moriboho, Tim Anderson, Babak Gadazas, and Chris Grasso, along with Andrew Aguilar.
Davis goes from left to right. Gillum pump fakes. He gets taken down. And Corey, when he pump fakes, he gets taken down for a sack.
Well, the pump fake was caused by Taj Jones jumping the route. Like you talked to Phil Austin earlier in the week, the cornerbacks, especially Taj Jones, are aggressive. And if you watch the replay, Gilliam was going to throw the ball on a quick out. It's not there because Jones jumps the route. That's why he had to pump fake, along with Joey Noble going in the air, and Otto picks up his sack. That's his 2nd sack of the season.
Allen still out wide to left. LeFleur out wide to the right. Gillum looking over, and what they do is they don't line up. So Saddleback basically looks over to the sidelines. They don't huddle up. They get their signals from the sideline. 2nd down and 15. Gillum goes back. Looks, here comes the pressure from the outside. Trying to get tracked down. Throws it out quickly to the back and throws it out to DeMarcado coming out of the backfield. Basically a safety valve pass to the back of the backfield.
Chased down by Caleb Johnson on the backside. Hits DeMarcado, but Roy Otto was there for his 2nd tackle of the game.
So they come back out. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. We're at the 12-minute mark in this first quarter. Davis goes from left to right. Gillum in the backfield by himself. Hornets with 4 down linemen. Now they shift everybody. Spearing goes to the right, also with Davis. We get motion on the line of scrimmage. It should be against Saddleback.
All start, number 58, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So we're going to move him back 5 yards as the offense shifted. The offensive line shifted at the same time, Corey. And that's what makes that penalty. Keep an eye out for Richie and Ryan down on the field during the game. There's Richie down on the field right now. So it's a 3rd down and 15. Davis and Spearing now come in the slot on the left-hand side. They'll look over to see if they have to move. Out wide left is Allen. Gillum goes back. We get a whistle. So it's going to move Saddleback to Gauchos back 5 more yards. All this motion is putting them, and it looks like they just try to work the clock as low as they can. Corey, I think they've been reading the clippings. This game's always decided in the last 30 seconds of the game. So let's keep that ball as much as we can. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 20, now at the 25.
Fullerton goes to a 3-3-5 with an extra defensive back will be Cameron Powell.
Gillum looks back. Has time to throw the ball. Throws deep, taken out of the air, one-handed catch. Great catch there by Clinton Allen, who pulls it down at the 32.
And Taj Jones was there with coverage, except he turned his head and didn't make a play on the ball. Good job by Clinton Allen, their team's best receiver, as a freshman coming in.
And let's watch this one. Watch this one here, Corey, as it's time that goes down there. He goes deep. Next play, ball's knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Joey Noble knocks down Gilliam's pass.
So Joey Noble, 2 big plays here in the first drive for Fullerton. And Fullerton had all the momentum in this first drive. 3rd down and 20. You got to make sure you don't complete anything behind you. Just a nice play, nice throw by Max Gilliam, and a nice catch by Clinton Allen.
Allen, the leading receiver on this team, and he shows you why right there. Gillum looks over. Mercado, the deep set back. Allen out wide to the left. Throw it quickly out to the flat there to Nick Chapman on a double pass. Chapman's got some Nilton, batted away right in the end zone. Boy, a defensive back that stayed with his coverage.
No, defensive back that got lucky. David Farmer was there. Luckily, the ball was thrown and hung up in the air by not your normal normal quarterback. So that extra air time on the throw allowed Farmer to catch up and knock the ball away.
So LaFleur looked like he was open for a second on a double pass. It brings up a 3rd down and 10. Mercado, the deep set back. Allen out wide to the left. In the slot on the right-hand side is Spearing. LaFleur out wide right. Davis in the slot. Gillum goes back. Once again, looks for Clinton Allen right there. And again, underneath the receiver, if you throw the ball short, you pick it. If you throw it over the top, he's dealing with the sideline.
Yeah, Saddleback, the Gauchos have good wide receivers, good heady wide receivers, not blazing speed on the outside. That's where Fullerton can match up man-to-man. But you saw that first completion for 20-plus yards. They have great hands and know when to go up and get it.
And when you look at somebody like Allen, Clinton Allen out there, he's averaging 111 yards a game as a wide receiver. Out there, he's got 6 touchdowns this season. His longest is 42 yards. Davis now will be over here on the left-hand side with Allen.
So was it 3rd down or 4th down? Oh, they're saying
3rd
okay.
down.
3rd down?
Yeah. So Saddleback will call a timeout with 10:25 to go. Well, this game has just started here at Homecoming on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, of course, the wonderful TV crew from Fullerton College here on SportsNetUSA.net. Richie and Ryan are down on the field. Guys, I'm looking for you. Trying to figure out what it feels like down there right now because it's tense up here in the booth, to say the least, here on SportsNetUSA.net. Remember, all our games are brought to you by Miller, Toyota of Anaheim, Zombie Donuts, and, of course, the Doghouse. Loaded right on Chapman. Loaded. They're on Chapman. Their hot dogs are loaded. That's where they're at on Chapman here on SportsNetUSA.net. Zombie Donuts, I tell you what, missed those this morning. Zombie Donuts, Halloween's right around the corner. You want to get your donuts that are going to spook everybody, freak them out a little? Zombie Donuts. The best place in the world to get a donut. It will cover that sweet tooth that you may have. Zombie Donuts, located in Chapman and Fullerton.
And the other 23 teeth you have as well.
Well, unless you're from the IE. Allen goes up Wide to the left. Davis in the slot on left-hand side. Gillum looks over Mercado. Deep back in pistol formation. Now they move things around a little. We're going to get another delay of game. And Corey, they were trying to get Fullerton to jump or move. They didn't. They're going to take the penalty, go back 5 yards, and they're going to try and pin this at Richie. What's going on down there?
So, guys, the Hornets coming out of the locker room starting this game, they were super pumped up. On the sideline before the kickoff, they were hyped over here. But the Gauchos taking a long time during this drive, especially between plays. It's kind of slowed them down a little bit. We'll see if they can pick it up when they're back on offense. Back up to you guys.
So the Gauchos getting ready. They're going to punt it away. Little pooch punt. And they're going to drive it out of bounds, and we'll see what angle the official gives them, Corey. Is you're staying away from the man that could take it home at any time of the day, Justin Manyweather. They're going to mark it out of bounds at the 13. So with 10-11 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Hornets 0, the Gauchos 0. You are watching Fullerton College football on Sportsnet USA.net. So Webb and Hewlett in the backfield with Kane Wilson. Robert Downs the third. Out wide to the right. Marcus, they're going to go. Kane Wilson, look for it right over the middle. On the money, first pass to Jordan Huffman, and Jordan Huffman picks up a first down.
So that's the way you want to start for Kane Wilson. Get that rhythm early. Stretch that defense. This is what Fullerton likes to do on their first drive. They like to go up tempo.
Robert Johnson out wide to the right. Wilson out wide to the left. First down and 10 at the 35. Handed off to Hewlett. Hewlett looks for a block. We get a flag in the middle. Stays up. Gain of 8, but where the flag is thrown usually means the ball's coming back.
Give us a chance to set the defense. As Saddleback will run a 3-3-5. They have a rover out there who will make a lot of plays. Tremario Bivens is up front, like you said, Mark. Hold. Kamani Smith as well. And then you're going to get the rest of them. Onur Kolhasi, Jaden DeGravio, Tyler Noble, Jack Dexter.
Fullerton comes out. They're going to move it back. 10 yards for holding. Kane Wilson, empty backfield. Hewlett goes in motion. They throw it over to the flat. Tries to get a block. Gets maybe 2 in the play. And Corey, really, it was good defense because Robert Johnson could not sustain his block on the outside.
Tackled out of there by Jake Hudson. So Jake Hudson, one of those starters. We'll take. And you see it's just a long out pattern. This is those run plays, but are actually pass plays on the outside. Robert Johnson, better defense.
Wilson goes back. Once again, looks in the middle of the field, throws it to the man who can sustain the block, Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson gets it. Then it's a gang tackle at the 35. He refuses to go down. And when you look at Robert Johnson, he leads this team with 83 yards a game this season as a receiver.
So third down, about 10 yards. Third down and 10 yards ago. Watch for the defensive lineman, Chris E. Vegas, for Saddleback. He's a guy who wants to get up and get out. Put
Robert
pressure on the
Johnson,
back.
I'm sorry, Corey, out wide to left. Manyweather in the slot on the left-hand side. Kane Wilson takes it himself. Sidesteps, gets it. He's going to be just short. And the defense looked for that running play. It's going to bring up fourth down for the Hornets.
And you can see out there on the field, both these teams don't need.
Kane Wilson, empty backfield. Big fourth down play, 4th down and 2. Kane Wilson. 3 down lineman, gets the ball. Wilson's going to take it himself. Try to get the block. He gets a seal block. Does he get the first down?
I don't know if he got it.
I think they gave it to him, Corey, where they spotted it. And they gave him an outrageous mark on the field.
Well, that's after the play. He was stopped initially. Then with the help, forward footing, and a couple players pulling him forward, he picks up the first down. But he had the first down on that first fake. He just keeps going up, and he moves the chains.
Jordy Huffman out wide to the right. Robert Johnson out wide left. Hewlett in the backfield with Kane Wilson. Kane Wilson, shotgun formation, first down and 10 at the 48. They hand it to Hewlett. Hewlett looks for a block. Marcus Grossman, who's out there today playing, throws the block at the 41. That's enough to move the chains. So we're going to quickly come back up to the line of scrimmage, and the offense is moving. Hewlett goes from right to left. Grossman in the slot on the right-hand side. Huffman out there. Grossman throws a great block. He goes in motion from right to left. Kane Wilson has time to throw. Throws it across the middle of the field. Finds Robert Johnson. I thought that was Johnson. No, that's not Johnson's coming across the field. That's Robert Downs the third coming across the middle of the field.
And brought down by Christian Rebay.
So Robert Johnson out wide left. Robert Downs the third in the slot. Robert Johnson out there. Kane Wilson looks back, throws it across. Hosey throw to Marcus Grossman, who sidesteps, dances, and then gets up to the 18-yard line. So this hurry-up offense is keeping everybody. We look at this replay. It's coming across out here again. He's just going to find that short little crossing pattern to Marcus Grossman, who sidesteps to make it second down and 4. Kane Wilson goes back. Webb in the backfield now. Kane Wilson takes it himself, cuts inside, crosses 10, down to the 5. First down for the Hornets.
Kane Wilson stands a sturdy 6'4", 230 pounds, Mark. And when he's barreling down on the defensive backs, you might have to favor Kane Wilson. Even still, he's a quarterback. Those defensive backs are supremely smaller.
So they come back up. Webb in the backfield. They hand it off to Webb. Webb sidesteps. He's trying. Touchdown, Fullerton College.
Isaiah Webb, third game played. He's a touchdown machine. 3 touchdowns for Isaiah Webb. And that was an impressive drive for Fullerton, picking up that fourth down conversion near midfield, saying we know what this game takes. And they pick up a touchdown behind that big offensive line, and we'll set that offensive line after this extra point.
So Isaiah Webb, who last week against Grossmont was someone to talk about, hadn't seen him all year long. All of a sudden he comes out. Next thing, what do we see? Well, we see him averaging right now 7.5 yards a carry when he touches the ball. As the point is good. So with 6:12 to go, it's the Hornets 7, the Gauchos 0. You're watching Hornet football on Sportsnet USA.net. Talk to Jim Fossil a little earlier here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ray Ogus was with us. We watched Webb on this little run that comes up the middle to give him his third touchdown of the year.
And you see the cheer there after this replay.
There it is. They hand it off. Straight dive play. Right off guard. Gets excellent blocking that offensive line, Corey.
Rashad Harris, Eric Pulliam, Delton Crandall. That's guard, center, guard. Muhammad Jefferson and James Stanton are the tackles. So you talked to Jim Fossil earlier?
We did talk to Jim Fossil, and did you know he was rated as one of the tallest football players back then at 6'2"?
Yeah, that was tall.
He said I was in the top 30%. Now I'd be in the bottom 30% as a quarterback. Hornets up by 7. Taken right there by LaFleur. LaFleur comes up the middle, gets leveled right at the 14.
Devin Hessler in on the stop. That's his 7th special team tackle on a kickoff this season. Devin Hessler, backup linebacker. And Mark, you talk about 6'2" is tall. 6'2", they had a few players on the team 6'2". The tallest person on the team, I thought, 6'4", Tom Demler was the tallest person on that 67 team.
Allen comes out wide to the left. Freeman right off his shoulder on the left-hand side. Gillum at quarterback, Mercado in the backfield. Gillum's going to throw it there. Nice coverage, almost taken out of the air there. LaFleur picks up a gain of 5 on the play.
That's David Farmer on that side. didn't quite get the tip, but luckily he made the tackle because you got to be careful about this. Like we said, Saddleback's receivers are not the fastest, but they're swift out there once they make the catch and know what to do with it.
LaFleur out wide to the right, Spearing out there in the slot on the right-hand side. Now they tighten up again. Allen out wide to the left. Next to him is going to be Tylon Freeman. Gillum looks over to the sideline. 2nd down and 5, right at the 20 for the Gauchos. Looking to answer that first score by the Hornets. Once again, they run a little draw play. Mercado shakes one tackle, gets across two, and he's got speed. 40, 50, 40. He's going to get the line block. 20, touchdown, Gauchos.
80 yards on the run. DeMercado just busts through the line, and the initial missed tackle at the line of scrimmage and bad angles trying to pursue in the secondary allowed DeMercado to go all the way. Officially 79 yards for the touchdown. That is his longest run of the season, 6th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, he only averages 71.5 yards a game. And like you talked about it too, Corey, when you think about that, his longest run was 35 coming into this game. DeMercado, huge missed tackle. They had him in the backfield. Thompson comes in for the point after. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Gauchos said, well, you know what? And this is what we got told before the game. We don't run a lot. We use. So let's go down and see if the boys have got anything. Ryan, we're down to you.
Well, the biggest thing that you're feeling right now on the sideline, Corey and Mark, is nervousness, that little empty feeling in the pit of your stomach. That's exactly what everyone here on the sideline is feeling. It started to relieve a little bit after the Hornets touchdown, but after DeMercado's run, it came right back, and you're starting to hear guys say, I'm nervous. Let's see how the rest of the game goes. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll see how the rest of the game goes. And, man, we expect this type of game. Fullerton hasn't seen that type of run all season. We haven't seen a physical back such as that with speed who can do those type of things.
So T.J. Griffin and Justin Manyweather back deep for the Hornets. But anyway, what I was saying is that the coaches basically said to us, hey, you know what? We pass. We use the run just so we can maintain the rush. I guess they're going to maintain the rush, right?
They maintained it all right.
Justin Manyweather takes it at the 2. Manyweather to the 10. At the 20. At the 30. Stays on his feet. We have a flag down at the 38. He refuses to go down. He's dragging people. He's trying. The scrum moves up to the 50 with a flag down back at the 38-yard line.
If we have a replay of that, watch the ball. It looks like it pops out as he's running, and he regained it, and that's why he kept going. But impressive run by Manyweather. We know what the call is.
Illegal block in the back. Shot block. Shot block. So a chop block against the Hornets with 4:57 to go here in the first quarter. That's right, they're moving backwards. Gauchos in their white jerseys, red piping, and gold helmets. Fullerton in Corey Neyland's grays. You like that uniform, don't you?
They are good uniforms.
You'd love to see blue and gold. Devontae Richardson out wide left. Devin Fleming in the game. Kane Wilson throws it there, looking for the tight end coming across the middle of the field. Marcus Grossman. No? Noah Hoffman. I was right. It was the tight end. Webb in the backfield. Kane Wilson. 2nd down and 5. They fit out to Webb. Webb trying to turn the corner. Stays on his feet. First down. I got told about Isaiah Webb that if you get the corner, if he gets the corner, he averages 4 yards every time he catches the corner.
Yeah, because he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys who can slip through, and you see the replay here. Just a simple toss play to the outside. He gets to the outside, and he picks up that 4 not required, but.
Kane Wilson goes out Looking right there. Simpson. Darius Simpson catches it, stays on his feet, down to the 35. So Simpson on it, little post pattern, picks it up, catches it, and gets it down for 31 yards. But it's coming back.
And they're going to get Muhammad Jefferson illegal hands to the face. Jake Hudson was rushing in there, and he got a hand up into the face mask. And that'll negate a 31-yard pitch and catch.
So let's move it back a little. 4:10 to go. Hornets 7, Gauchos 7, Shapell Stadium. Whoever wins this game controls the conference for now.
Controls the conference.
First down and 23 for the Hornets. Kane Wilson looking there. Goes to Simpson again, trying to get it to Simpson. A little behind him, a little down low. Simpson, incomplete.
Well covered by Christian Rebay. Rebay, player of the week last week for the Southern, whatchamacallit.
Robert Johnson out wide to the right. Manny Weather with him. Simpson out here on the right-hand side. Kane Wilson drops it, picks it up, throws over the middle of the field to Justin Manyweather, who catches it on the dead run at the 30. Sidestep at the 20, puts the ball on the ground. The Gauchos get the turnover.
Good recovery by the Gauchos. They were beat deep, and it looks like that was, we'll get the replay. I can't tell if it was Rebay or not. As Wilson,
and we have a flag, Corey, far down at the 20-yard line.
Does a nice job of picking up the loose ball, and a good hustle out there by Colton Larsavale. It was offsides as Justin Manyweather gets bailed out. He's trying to make a move to the end zone. Larsavale put his big paw out there, took away the ball, and recovered his own fumble, but an offside against the Gauchos negates an even bigger play. I mean, you can tell nerves are out there.
What do you think Mark McElroy is saying right about now? Home cooking?
No, I'm just saying, man.
Huffman comes out wide to the right. Marcus Grossman on the slot on the right-hand side. Second down and 20. So the Hornets dodge an enormous mistake. Second down and 20. Kane Wilson goes back. Here comes the pressure. Has time again. Double clutches, triple clutches. Picks it up, throws it into the flat. And Corey, good coverage because he pulls it down 3 times before he throws the football.
Yeah, Robert Downs III on the reception. That's why 5 defensive backs out there, 5 athletic defensive backs can cause trouble. They're a little, not as huge defensive backs, but they're fundamentally sound. And Robert Downs III, you see Fullerton trying to make plays out there instead of making the play and continuing the play.
Robert Johnson out wide to left. Robert Downs III next to him on the left-hand side. Huffman out wide to the right. Marcus Grossman in the slot on the right-hand side. Third down and 10 at the 35. We're tied at 7. Kane Wilson, quick little pitch, looking for the 10. Spin, ball gets knocked down. Where do they mark it at? Just short. They're going to mark him down at the 45. It'll bring up a 4th down and a yard for the Hornets.
They went for it the last time on 4th down about this area. At the 45, 1 yard to go. You got to watch Kane Wilson. Gerald Hewlett is in the backfield, so I'm going to call officials timeout.
Huffman out wide to the right. Grossman in the slot. Again, Robert Downs III. Robert Johnson out wide to the left. We get jump. There should be a flag. There's a free play. Throw it out there on the money. Taken down to Robert
Downs, a third.
Is that Robert
again.
Downs, the third?
That's his 3rd reception in this first quarter.
So offside against the Gauchos is going to be declined.
So he had Downs in the seam on that route. He also had Robert Johnson on the outside. His defender fell down. Wilson was already looking at Downs, the 3rd, down the field, a.k.a. _Princess. She likes that one.
Robert Johnson out wide to left. Robert Downs III in the slot. Huffman out wide to the right. Marcus Grossman in the slot. First down and 10, right at the 27. Kane Wilson taking his time. Hewlett rolls out once again. Throw to Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson gets a 25 and a gain of about 3 on the play.
Nice job of tackling by this Gaucho defense. Brought down by Corey Neyland.
Same set of receivers. Stay there, Corey. They don't change anybody out. Hewlett behind Wilson. Wilson turns around and talks to him. Second down and a long 7. They give it out to Hewlett. Hewlett just watches his block, just gets tripped up. And he follows his blocker so nicely.
Dante Hamilton on the stop. Again, he's a little bit like Ryan Bird was in 2013. A little bit faster, but he's patient. And you're right, he follows those blocks to a T. Some people might want to say, move, move, move. He's patient. Let me pick up 15 yards by waiting a couple more seconds.
Robert Downs third. Robert Johnson go to the right. Huffman and Grossman go to the left. They switch. Grossman comes in motion from left to right. Kane Wilson looks for Huffman, right on the money. Touchdown, Fullerton College. That was a perfect pass. Nobody else could have caught it.
And that's correct. You hit the nail on the head, Mark. Nobody else could have caught it because Huffman made himself a big target, presentable. Only thing you saw was at number 9, and that's where Kane Wilson threw it.
And if we were to see that again, we'd watch that on the play where he does, as a receiver, make himself the only one. And here it comes, Corey. We're going to see him. And you said it, Corey, as Wilson goes there. And you watch it on the replay, the only thing you can do is drive yourself through the receiver, and you're probably going to get a flag if you do that.
Yeah, and did you see the pocket that Kane Wilson had? It wasn't quite the U-shaped pocket, but it was an arc to it, and that's perfect offensive execution.
So the Hornets, with 56 seconds to go here in the first quarter, come down the field again on the arm of Kane Wilson. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 56 seconds to go, it's the Hornets 14, the Gauchos 7. You're watching Hornet football on Sportsnet USA.net. You know, we went down to the field. Normally you accompanied us down there. We're looking at the offensive line coaches who were saying, boy, your guys don't get talked about much. You know what we got as a response? Talk to us at the end of an undefeated season. Then I'll tell you if they're good or not. That was the answer from the offensive line coaches.
I like it. That we waited till last year to decide if they had an offensive line unit that was going to be very good, very, very good, or one of the best that Fullerton's seen.
I mean, but, you know, Ryder, they're sort of like, we're going to talk them up. When we get Ryan Osborne could hear it down there. They didn't let us talk up that offensive line. Ryan, I see you down there with Richie. We'll get Ryan back up in the air in a second and find out what's going on down there with that offensive line. LaFleur back deep again. Standing back there with Davis. LaFleur is going to take it at the 4. At the 4, goes to the 10. Take down. Oh, so it was Curo. See, and I'm hearing from my left from the SID.
No, I said number 12, LaFleur.
No, number 12 is Davis.
Or who was number 4?
So I heard somebody say that number 18 was on the far side.
Oh, well, don't matter.
Yeah. 49 seconds to go. The Hornets are up by 7. Ryan Osborne, Richie down on the sideline. Clinton Allen comes out wide to left. In the slot is going to be Daquan Davis out of Nevada. They're standing next to each other. It's looking like double dating on both corners for the Gauchos. McCarter goes in motion. Taking it is Gillum. Gillum can run also. Sidesteps. Goes down after a beautiful gain up to the 40.
This is a Fullerton defense that's only given up 57 yards on the ground each game this season. They've already given up a 79.
So Max Gillum.
And you see the lane open up as Gilliam just takes off.
Go back to the double dating again. Corey, they're stacking the receivers next to each other and making it difficult for the defensive back. They're looking at the sideline right now, asking what they should do. They back off defensively right now. Hand it up right up the middle to DeMarcado. DeMarcado, who has already surpassed what he does in a game after he took that one for over 70 yards for a touchdown. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's the Hornets 14, the Gauchos 7. You're watching Hornet football on Sportsnet USA. Down to Ryan Osborne. What's going on down at the field?
Yeah, down here on the field, you guys talk about that offensive line. Coach Andrew Felton has been talking to his guys and saying they need to be a lot quicker off the line. They need to engage the defensive line. The big motto that they have down here for the entire offense is all gas, no brakes. Everyone has to go quicker. They feel that Saddleback can't keep up. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
And, of course, limping off the field is Devin Hessler. So Hessler, one of the linebackers, Corey, for the Hornets, comes off the field.
Coming in for Devin is going to be McCarty, who missed a few games. Cole out of Upland. Missed a few games earlier in the season and just now back. I believe he was injured in the second game of the season, just now back for his seventh.
So the ball will be at the 44 for the Gauchos.
Actually, he was injured in his fourth game of the season.
LaFleur comes out wide to the right. Davis with him. Also Cam Humphrey. They hand it to DeMarcado. He sweeps the corner, stays on his feet, finds the corner. He's down the sideline, drops his shoulder, and runs over a defender for the Hornets.
One tough runner out of Downey, 5'11", 195, but he runs bigger than 5'11", 195. He runs like he's 6'2", 220 as he's shaking off tackles. Cameron Powell.
And you watch him, Corey. All it basically is a sweep. He gets the outside. He takes the corner, outruns everybody, and then he's going to drop his shoulder right about there and says, if you can't tackle me.
Well, he takes the corner because Cameron Powell took such a poor route.
Gillum looks over to the sideline. LaFleur out wide to the right, Spearing with him on the right-hand side. Out wide to the left is going to be Davis. Gillum puts DeMarcado in motion. He's going to take it himself. Nobody picks him up. He gets a gain of 1 on the play.
A little bit better job of the interior. That's Oscar Burgueno filling up the hole as it was a design run. And Fullerton's so worried about the passing option that Saddleback has on the outside. That middle is getting wider and wider for the quarterback and DeMarcado to maneuver.
Well, DeMarcado easily is over 100 yards in this game already.
Yeah.
When you look at what he does.
Unofficially, he's got 117. There's Brian Crooks there, defensive coordinator for the Fullerton Hornets.
Clinton out wide to the left. Davis in the slot on the left-hand side. LaFleur out wide to the right. Spearing next to him on the right-hand side. Gillum now puts LaFleur in motion. Goes back, has time to throw. Here comes the pressure. They come after, they drag him down at the 30. Get him for a sack.
Welcome back, Cole McCarty, who came from the far side to chase him down. Gets a half a sack with Kareem McDonald. And you know,
and Corey, you watch this, and you talked about Cole McCarty. As you watch him in here come in right now, I mean, Gillum can't make that first throw, and then McCarty takes over.
Yeah, because Kareem McDonald, 52, was there to keep him in the pocket, so they both get credit for half a sack.
Allen out wide to left, Davis in the slot on the left-hand side, LaFleur out wide to the right, Spearing there, DeMarcado in the backfield. Gillum, 3rd down and 20. Pump fake, trying to go to Allen. Allen's all by himself. I tell you what, I'm not sure what he was doing, shopping or looking for a cab, but he got a touchdown.
Davion Bullock was nowhere to be found on the corner. As you'll see the replay on this, good offensive line work up front. Montre Bonner on the left side was trying to get through. That was a pump fake. Bullock, well, he did more than bite on it. He choked on that pump fake, and that was an easy touchdown to Allen. And that's what you and Phil Austin were talking about, the aggressiveness of the corners. Smart teams like Saddleback will use that aggressiveness against them.
But I'm going to go, and I'm going to ask you a quick question right out of the ball. A spotted kick is up, and the kick is good. You've got a wide receiver running a deep pattern. you're biting on the quarterback and looking in at the quarterback instead of staying with your guy. I mean, I've never understood that from a defensive back. Why? Your guy's running a deep post. It's one-on-one coverage. Why don't you
you're
stay
aggressive.
with it?
You're going for that first one. You want that ball. You want to make a spectacular play, so you bite on that and let the guy get behind you. As simple as that.
And being that simple, put Saddleback back on the board. It's now the Gauchos 14, the Hornets 14, 12:39 to go here in the first half. Well, we didn't expect anything else for this homecoming with the 1967 state national champions sitting to our right here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Richie Melgoza, Ryan Osborne, Corey Neyland, and myself. Happy to be out here today at Shapell Stadium. TJ Griffin, along with, well, Justin Manyweather. Back deep for the Hornets. 12:39 to go. TJ has got it. He's going to take it right there at the 5. TJ gets a block, finds the middle open, gets cut down at the 20, flips out to the 25, and then there's a flag.
And you look at Max Gilliam. Max Gilliam with his 4th touchdown of the season, and TJ Griffin is hurt on the ground.
TJ Griffin carries the ball back to the 25-yard line.
As TJ Griffin is hurt on the field, he's able to turn over. Juan Cuevas is there, and
There was no penalty for holding on the play.
let's just hope the young man is okay.
So wait and see. Hey, remember, all our games here on sports.usa.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Looking for that new Toyota, maybe that used Toyota, or maybe just get that Toyota detailed or a 3-for-1 special for tires. Make sure you check out Zombie Donuts on sports.usa.net. Well, we always want to thank Zombie Donuts on sports.usa.net. And, of course, why we got a timeout here. Well, Richie, Ryan, I know everything's quiet down on the sideline, but that last touchdown has to be sort of heartbreaking for the Hornets.
As both teams are taking a knee because it is a serious injury to get the camera off. Now. It is a serious injury to TJ Griffin.
You know, we're looking down. You know, we don't know what's happening in the field. We don't need to speculate on the field or look at it. It's like that car accident that people slow down and look at. And, you know, you never want to be concerned. You want to look at that defensive. So you look at what's going on down here. And, I mean, basically right now, this is a game that's tied up at 14. This is what the Hornets didn't want to have happen. We talked to Phil Austin and everything that's going on right now. And Phil basically said, we don't want this game tight. Corey, this is one thing Phil Austin said, let's not have a tight game. We need to get a jump on this Saddleback team and really get in front of them by 14 before halftime because of what's happened in the previous 4 years. It's something that bothered this coaching staff. And right now, it's not the type of game the Hornets want.
You saw them the last 4 years. Last year it was tight, 30-27 win versus Saddleback at Saddleback. It was one of those things that Fullerton came in as a favorite, but they lost. They did happen to rebound and win the championship. You go back to 2013 when it was a tight game in Fullerton's favor. These Saddleback games are never going to be something that's going to be a blowout. Even if one team is up by 20, fourth quarter, 5 minutes to go, it's still going to be something that's going to come down to probably the last play or two of the game.
And I'm sure there's a lot of interest around all the conferences right now because we basically said the Hornets are undefeated, but in conference, Saddleback's undefeated. We're undefeated. Riverside is the only other undefeated team overall. But there's other teams that are breathing down everybody's necks and realize when playoffs come around, only 4 teams get to go.
Well, you look at this game, how it's particularly important to Saddleback because they already have one loss, and that one loss was to Ventura last week or 2 weeks ago. So they lose to Ventura 44-34. That's one loss. You have 2 losses, you're probably not going to make the state playoffs. 4 teams get in. Fullerton wins, they control it. They have to win their final 3 games, and they're in. No matter what, they'll keep their number 1 ranking. You look at Riverside. You don't really see Riverside losing.
No, I don't. I don't.
So there's your second team. Up in the Northern Division.
I got Bakersfield.
Yeah, Bakersfield has only lost one game this season.
And then, Corey, really that fourth spot could be a variety of teams when you think about it, because there's a variety of teams that have 1 or 2 losses. Oh, you're moving me. Oh, okay. Corey's saying the X is right there. But really, that fourth spot's open to anybody right now.
Yeah, because you look at Bakersfield with 1 loss. Ventura, since they beat Saddleback, if they can remain with only 2 losses this season, they might have the edge because of what they did last year in making the playoffs over Saddleback. You don't know. Coming out of the Central, Mount Sac has 2, Long Beach has 2, El Camino has 2. So that fourth spot is up in the air. Saddleback could still get it if they were to lose here, but if Fullerton loses and they win out the rest of the games, you know they're going to be in.
Yeah, but here's the big thing that you look for is home field advantage. We've been there. Yeah, Saddleback's won on this field. The Hornets have won down at Saddleback, but it's the other teams. Riverside never does well here at Shapell Stadium. We don't do that well at Riverside. So this is really, when you look at the playoffs, if you're one of the teams that's out here right now in the playoffs, you want to have home field advantage if you're either one of these teams that are out there on the field right now. And both of these teams, Corey, really want that home field advantage when you're thinking about it. Pretty good turnout, really, for a homecoming. Of course, we've got 35 from that 1967 team.
Yeah, and TJ Griffin, 5'10", 160 out of Lake Elsinore, Paris High School. Out of Paris High School. He's one of those guys who's just coming around latter part or second part of this season. He's one of those guys who didn't get playing time the first few games, but really last game, this game, you saw he was getting more prep. He's one of those practice guys who you want to get on the field more.
Well, you saw it with Justin Manyweather back there. I mean, the ball comes up. We know how Manyweather really does feel he can take everyone back. Ball's curling towards TJ. Manyweather running up says, it's yours, it's yours. And that's a teammate that really believes in another teammate when you think about it. He believes in that teammate, as we see Coach Morrow walking by. Everybody's out here today.
Yeah, and the only thing we will tell you about the injury is it is a serious injury.
Yeah, they've been on the field. And the other thing I will say, we have the best trainer in the nation. If you wanted to have somebody out on the field right now with that young man, Juan Cuevas is the man you'd want to have out there. So for all the concerns we have here up in the booth for this young man, Corey, I tell you what, he's in the best hands you could be on a community college level on sportsnetusa.net.
And we'll go back down to the field with the camera just so you can see him being taken off of the field once he does that in just a couple moments, because TJ Griffin, important part of this Fullerton Hornet team. As you see, they bring out the cart for him, and just a devastating injury to the young man. And Fullerton, how are they going to react after this? They have the boot on him as he walks, as he's lifted up, taken away. And next week during practice, and there is the young man putting his thumb up.
Well, Corin, it's one of those things of football, too. I mean, you go down low to make the tackle, you hit somebody low, and then they cartwheel. And on carpet, you don't know what may happen to you. Well, you're telling me what happened to him? His ankle got turned? So, I mean, that's the unfortunate aspect of the carpet in football. Lots of times your cleats don't give, and things can happen. So they come back out. Ladarius Skelton now in a quarterback. And this is that two-headed monster we talk about. Hewlett in the backfield. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 22. There's no Hewlett. Ladarius Skelton says, wait a minute, let me throw it. And almost throws an interception. It's a running play. Justin Manyweather is standing there, and Skelton makes a poor decision at quarterback.
And that's one where you want to take off running as a Ladarius Skelton. Hewlett goes runway, the right side. Skelton goes the left side, and almost a pick out there.
They throw it to Darius Simpson. That's thrown high as they try to throw that little drag screen in the middle of the field.
And watch out for the design run. Daryl Wyrick And Robert Johnson tangling up on the near side. Wyrick number 2 in white, Johnson number 10 in gray. And we'll see as Huffman and Grossman come back in. And you see the two guys come back in, Huffman and Grossman. Marcus Grossman, you need that one sure-handed guy out there.
And Robert Downs the third now in the slot here on the left-hand side. Skelton should be third down. They've got it at second down. Skelton picks it up himself, runs up the middle of the field, gets a first down on the play, and that's sort of...
And that's what you want, that design run by Skelton up the middle. You knew it was coming. Those first two throws were awful. The third down run is not awful. Almost lost it as a good tackle there and a good help. Jack Dexter was in there for the first.
Hand it straight. They're going to throw it over here. Try to throw it to Robert Downs the third and overshoots him on that play. We're at 12 minutes here in the second quarter. We're knotted at 14 here on Sports at USA.net. So Doreese Simpson comes back in the game along with Justin Manyweather. Marcus Grossman comes out with Huffman. Darius Skelton, second down and 10 at the 37. He runs it himself. He's going to take it at a quarterback sweep. Steps out of bounds. We have a flag in the middle of the field. Matter of fact, we have two of them.
As you see the replay here, Skelton moves. Are they going to call a chop block there on Rashad Jefferson? No, they called it on the second one as you saw it come through.
Clipping, number 65.
So they're going to move that back. It's called clipping.
Yeah, and they caught Peter Kasibwe, not number 55. It's actually going to be on number 65, Jacob Jankovia.
They're going to move it back 15 yards. Second down at 25. Robert Johnson out wide to left. Doreese Simpson in the slot on the left-hand side. Justin Manyweather. So all three are over here on the left-hand side. Manyweather looks over. Second down and 25 for the Hornets. Skelton looks over the defense. Gauchos move up, then they back out. They sort of come up on the corners. Three down linemen. We're going to get delay of game.
Number 16.
When was the last time you... Go ahead, Richie.
Hey guys, the feeling down here on the sideline it's eerie. It's so like we're getting close to Halloween. It has nothing to do with that. It's just an eerie feeling down here on the sideline right now. And we hope the guys can step it up. It's going to be tough for them, but we hope they can. Back up to you guys.
Second down and 20. Skelton throws off his back foot, overshoots everybody, looking for Simpson coming across the side of the field. Then I look at Robert Johnson going up the field. The ball's in the vicinity.
In the vicinity of nothing, Mark. I mean, it was just there. Ladarius Skelton's going to have to be more control. Here's where you want to get him on the move and running more to get his confidence going.
Hewlett in the backfield, Manyweather in the left. Doreese Simpson in the slot. Robert Johnson out wide to left. Hewlett goes in motion. There's Skelton on a design run play. Needs to get a block. Can't get away. Gets taken down. The Gauchos come up big.
An excellent play by Austin Moore, the defensive lineman who's not confused, is not tricked on that play. Nice hold, but he grabs a hold of the jersey and he goes down. And this defense by the Gauchos is just stifling the Fullerton College Hornet offense. And when was the last time you've seen that?
And this is going to show the character of this team. LaFleur back deep for the Gauchos. He's going to stand just short of the 40. End over end. LaFleur is going to take it. Drops it. Ball comes out, and he gets it back. The luck of the Gaucho instead of the luck of the Irish, because an ill-conceived opportunity to try and catch that ball. He didn't signal for a fair catch. He had defenders all around him, Corey. He shouldn't have gone for it.
Yeah, he should have.
Oh, man. The daredevil, Corey Neyland.
Now, he's going to get dropped as soon as he caught it, no matter what.
But he drops it.
Yeah, but he drops it. But you try to make that catch because you're at the 47-yard line. If he doesn't, the trajectory of the ball, that could have gone another 10 yards Fullerton's favor.
Tylon Freeman out wide to the right. Outside of him on the right-hand side is going to be Jermaine Lafleur. First down and 10 for the Gauchos. Gillum goes back, has time, throws it to DeMercado, who lets it bounce off his hand, and he had room to run if it catches the football.
And the Fullerton defense played 1 second, 2 second good defense, but again, they're trying to rush, and they see DeMercado going out to the flat. You're going to have to back up on that because that's the play the Gauchos want to run. And speaking of running, Matthew Norman at the University of Hawaii, thank you for watching. We got you.
Clinton Allen out wide left. Freeman in the slot on the left-hand side. Lafleur comes out wide to the right. Spurring on the right-hand side. Second down and 10, right at the 46. Spurring goes back. Going to throw it out. And beautiful defense on that as Tylon Freeman catches it. Corey, and he's got no place to go.
And that's like Taj Jones on the tackle. And if you know, if Matthew is watching, here's the replay on the outside. As Humphrey throws it out, Jones closes fast, wraps up, and makes a textbook tackle.
Gillum brings it out. Third down and 9. Lafleur out wide to the right, and a bunch formation with Spurring over here. Once again, Freeman. Allen out wide to the left. Mercado, the running back. He's had a great game at running back. Watch out for him now. The young man's over 100 yards easily, unofficially. Gillum feels the pressure, looks over the middle field. The ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Allen felt like on his break he was wide open.
I think it was Joey Noble who got the tip. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it was Joey Noble who got that tip on that play. Good job by Noble. He's had an excellent year thus far.
So Justin Manyweather is going to go back deep. We're sitting here all knotted at 14. It looked like it might be a scoring fest. It's slowed down with 9:26 to go here in the second quarter. Manyweather standing at the 10. The Hornets have blocked one. They come up. They look for a return. They want to give Justin an opportunity. Manyweather's going to track it down. He's going to let it hit. It's going to bounce back inside. A little back pedal bounce and down at the 14.
You realize Saddleback is the only team that's been kicking away from Justin the whole season?
Yeah, you finally look at a team that says, we understand who he is.
Yeah, and that's smart by the Gauchos. You don't want anything exciting to happen. Speaking of exciting, we said Matthew Norman watching from University of Hawaii, ex-Fullerton Hornet. His dad is watching, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
From Monrovia, so he's watching. So Matthew, Brian, what's up? How you guys doing?
Huffman comes out wide left. Simpson out to the right. Hewlett in the backfield. They run it off to give it to Hewlett. Hewlett straight up the middle. Stays on his feet. Going to get a gain of 6 on the play. So they run a straight dive play with Gerald Hewlett. Right off tackle. Gets a gain of 6. Isaiah Webb. Now Hewlett goes in motion. Webb stays in the backfield. Ladarius Skelton pulls it down. Steps away. Pulls it down. Flips over the middle. And throws where there's 3 white jerseys covering 1 gray one.
And it looks like Jaden DeGravio was the one who had to go off of his fingertips. And Ladarius Skelton, get him on the outside. Let him run more to gain his confidence. Because he had an open receiver on that right side. It looked like it was Devontae Richardson doing a deep square in over the middle. He missed him.
Wilson all by himself on the left-hand side. Robert Johnson. Robert Downs the third out wide to the right. Ladarius Skelton runs right into the defense. It is stopped again. Nobody picks him up, and Corey, if you're not going to get blocked, you might as well make a tackle.
No, don't sell Jay Cutson that short. If you got a replay, watch him come off of that block on the inside. Ladarius Skelton, he controlled. He couldn't go outside, had to come back inside. Hudson was there to make the stop.
So Rome Inocense is out there now. So Inocense back deep. End over end. Rome's going to let it bounce. It's going to hit across the 50 and trickle out of bounds at the 48. So 8 minutes exactly to go here in the second quarter. It's the Hornets 14, the Gauchos 14. You're watching Hornet football on Sportsnet, USA.net, in conjunction with Fullerton College TV.
So you were right. That last punt return by Humphrey, he shouldn't have gone for it. As you see, Sensei was out there.
Yeah, he looked and said, no, I don't think so. I don't care what Corey Neyland said. I don't think so.
I'm good. I want to stay in. I want to play Kerry Walker and Shane Darso, the new defensive ends for the Hornets. Darso on the near side.
Cam Humphrey now in at quarterback for the Gauchos. So they have a new quarterback in the game.
Humphrey back in at quarterback.
Cam Humphrey comes out. Here comes the pressure. Cam Humphrey says, wait. Just because I'm here doesn't mean you all have to greet me at the same time.
Kerry Walker with his first sack of the season said, they said, Cam, you was in the game. Let me welcome you. And that's a big loss of 10 yards, about 8 yards, excuse me.
So Humphrey loses his helmet. Corey has to come out for at least one play. Max Gillum comes back in the game. LaFleur comes out wide to the right. Allen out wide to the left. Spurring in the slot on the left-hand side. Empty backfield. Davis is over there. DeMarcado is right behind Spearing. Watch him. He'll come out and drag across the middle. They do throw to him. He gets the initial first block, breaks a tackle, breaks a second tackle. What a runner this young man has been for this team today.
Yeah, you never have a clean shot on him. Roy Otto makes the stop, but he hasn't been hit square on. He's one of those guys, he's a glancing type of runner. As you see, the first person will miss on that play. That's just a long run play. First person missed, doesn't have a good handle, and Roy Otto was there.
Jermaine LaFleur out wide to the right. Chris Spearing with him out here on the right-hand side. Allen out wide to the left. Davis slides over in the slot. Gillum looks over. 3rd down and 10. Here they come with the blitz. Gillum tries to step away. There's nothing but Gray, and he gets taken down for another sack in the game.
And that is Joey Noble, who's got a sack, a tackle for loss, a ball batted down, and a quarterback hurry all in this first half. We'll take that replay and watch him work on the inside. You see him working. There's Bergueno. There's Noble pushing back. Bergueno stopping him, and Joey Noble is there to pick him up and bring him down along with Roy Otto.
Justin Manyweather standing at the 15 says, Corey Neyland, keep your eye on this one.
He wants to record the record.
He wants to record. Well, he can record the record after the game. Corey Neyland's already eaten, but Justin, you can take it anyway. They come up like they want to come. Here comes the return. Justin Manyweather should take this. He does at the 15. Splits the middle. Oh, and Corey Neyland says, giddy up, my man, giddy up, as he gets out to the 25.
Tafer with the stop.
Ryan Osborne, Richie Melgoza should have interviews at the halftime for you here on Sportsnet, USA.net. And they're going to honor the 1967 state and national champions here at halftime on Sportsnet, USA.net.
That was the second national championship team for Hal Sherbeck. Was that the first?
Second. I'll have to look now. Kane Wilson comes in the game. Quickly throws it up to the 30.
And Mark, you
65, 67, and 80.
Yeah, 65, 67, 83. Okay, second. So you look at the difference at quarterback when Kane Wilson is in there. More direct, more decisive on his throws.
Hewlett in the backfield. Gain of 7. Kane Wilson looks it over. Hewlett takes it right there. Steps in the middle. Stretches short of a first down.
And Topher there again. So those 3 down linemen that Saddleback has, they're quick on the outside. Not as big as you would normally see, but they like to set that edge and bring everything back towards the middle because you also have 3 linebackers that they set. Those 5 on the outside create that difficulty.
Huffman, Grossman out wide to the left. Hewlett in the backfield. Kane Wilson, 3rd down. Here comes the pressure. Kane Wilson says, I'll throw it, and it gets picked off at the 49 as he throws it behind Marcus Grossman. And Corey, I thought he was going to pull it down and run with it.
Well, he should have pulled it down and run because you have 3rd down, 1 yard to go. You've seen him get those 2 tough yards. All he has to do is pull the ball down, take off, get the first down, and move the change. He tries to force one in there, making a play, and Dante Hamilton was there on a behind the throw. Behind the throw to Marcus Grossman. You see here, he steps up in the pocket, and you're working one-on-one. Great catch by Dante Hamilton, diving for that catch. He was going to go one-on-one with the DB rover guy. You got to like your chances going straight at him.
Third interception for Kane Wilson this week. Humphrey now in at quarterback. DeMarcado tries to turn the corner, gets dropped. We have a flag on the far side of the field. That's usually an offsides flag.
Kerry Walker was trying to get a step.
So Cam Humphrey now in at quarterback. You look at Cam Humphrey back in the game. 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions this year at quarterback. LaFleur out wide to the right. Spearing in slot on the right-hand side. DeMarcado in the backfield. Humphrey at quarterback. Allen out wide to the left with Tylon Freeman in the slot on the left-hand side. They go back. They look. They try to throw to Freeman. They try to undercut the pass as they really had double coverage against the wide receiver.
Now, Taj Jones made it seem like they had double coverage. So, yeah, we'll call it double coverage. He comes up, and you see how aggressive he is. He let Clinton Allen go because he thinks he has Cameron Powell to help him out. Cameron Powell was a little late. Humphrey threw it, almost picked. Let's see if they run that same play.
LaFleur out wide to the right. Allen out wide to left. Humphrey feels the pressure. Humphrey gets hit. There's Allen, Corey, and you said run the same play again, and that's exactly what they did.
Because the secondary, like you said, they're looking in the backfield. They're very aggressive. There's that little pump fake, and Taj Jones just gets beats again. The exact same play, driven out of bounds by Powell.
First down and 10 at the 20, and the Hornets are in a position with 3:52 to go that we haven't seen. Tied up or maybe down at halftime. Humphrey comes back out. They hand it to DeMarcado. He turns the corner, dips his shoulder, turns the outside, almost gets to the sticks.
And you see the first attempted tacklers out there on the field. You see the replay here. They're diving at his feet. Quick stop and quick acceleration through the hole. So they pick up the flag?
Yeah, I didn't initially see a flag, so they must have picked it up. Second down and 4. Humphrey comes up. Allen out wide to the left. LaFleur out wide to the right. Freeman out there with Spearing. DeMarcado, the running back. Humphreys hands it off to DeMarcado. This time he's dropped for a loss on the play.
And that's Montre Bonner and JaMichael Moore in the backfield.
Montre Bonner's parents are here at the game. They will come on at another game. They're a little too, they said this game's a little too much to come on here with you guys. Got a little thanks for talking his son up.
It's a playoff feel. This game.
It is. I mean, it really, and for both teams, you have to feel that way. Humphrey looks over the sideline. LaFleur out wide to the right. Allen out to the left. Once again, one-on-one coverage with Allen on the left-hand side, Corey. And they've looked for Allen every time it's that one-on-one coverage. We'll see if Humphrey does there on a 3rd down and 7. Right at the 16. Here comes the pressure. Humphrey goes the other direction. Throws to LaFleur. LaFleur refuses to go down and gets a first down. It'll be first and goal for the Gauchos at the 3.
Jay Brown, Kari Henley converge on the stop. And again, Saddleback is moving down. They're mixing it up. That run, those runs in the first quarter has really opened up and softened that Fullerton defense.
Well, the Hornets have turned it over twice in this game. The Gauchos didn't do anything the first time. They'll see if they can do something here the second time. Inocense now in. They pitch it to Inocense. He walks in for a touchdown.
And you wonder, you see the replay, where was the outside linebacker coming through? There's
right there.
Roy Otto taking that, and the cornerback is taken into the end zone, Fullerton's defense is nothing. Roy Otto's got to be on the outside. The defensive end has got to take the quarterback. Good execution by the Gauchos.
So the Hornets in a position as a fan you might not have seen so far this season. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 1:47 to go here in the first half, it's now the Gauchos 21, the Hornets 14. You're watching Hornet football on Sportsnet, USA.net. Allen has been...
We're going to go down to the field in just a moment. We've got Ryan or Richie, who is out there. Just let us know when you're ready. Again, Fullerton's defense has been softened so much by that run that the passing is opened up as soon as the option play was run perfectly, because that outside, Fullerton is so content on stopping the run now. Yeah, you can work man-to-man coverage, but what happens when you get mismatches thrown in there? And that's what Saddleback does so well.
Yeah, but I'm going to give it a Saddleback defense. We've seen two quality quarterbacks looking confused when they've gone to line of scrimmage. When they've had to look for their second or third read, Corey, they look confused out there as quarterbacks right now. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They don't have that clean third read that we've seen against other teams. I have to tell you what Brian Crook said off the air.
So Damani Reed, Justin Manyweather out.
Little pooch kick. And confusion on the kickoff, Corey, when you look at it, is that Kareem McDonald goes back, and Reed thought he was going to get it, so Reed stops, the ball bounces, and then Reed knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, this, you know what, Mark? This would have been a perfect game where my cousin is going to come to the game, aspiring cheerleader up in the high desert. My mom was going to bring her out. Would have been the perfect game to come to, because they have former Fullerton College Hornet cheerleaders who are now cheering for the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm sorry, the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers out there on the field.
Kane Wilson, shotgun formation, goes back, has time to throw, steps up, throwing deep, all by himself, laying out, overshoots Simpson. And we get holding on the play.
Now, there is going to be a hold. Jake Hudson is causing all kinds of havoc on the outside. Again, those quick defensive ends for the Gauchos. Fullerton is a good offensive line, but they haven't been tested.
And here's something I haven't seen. Now, I know that the Hornets have played from the front, but I'm watching an offensive unit that just looks like they've had the air taken out of their little rubber raft, and they've decided they're not going to take this ride on this trip.
It just takes one play, Mark.
Run it straight up the middle. Hewlett refuses to go down, gets thrown down. After he gets the penalty back, maybe +1 on that one. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9.
So watch up the middle. They're an excellent run team. Hat on hat, up the middle, bringing them down.
Robert Johnson comes out the left. Reese Simpson in the slot on the left-hand side. Manyweather with him. Wilson goes back. Decides to take it himself. He's going to outrun everything. And Corey, he does. He goes down. And this is what you wanted to see earlier from him as a quarterback, where you said on that last ill-fated.
And what's going to happen, you'll see the replay here as Kane Wilson tucks it down. And what this does to the linebackers is going to freeze them up closer to the line of scrimmage to bring that crossing routes right behind them.
Wilson, again, across the middle of the field, right there, 1st down. So the chains will move.
And you saw it, there on the replay. You see the linebackers a little bit creeping closer to the line of scrimmage because Wilson can move. They come across the middle.
Kane Wilson brings them up the line of scrimmage. 1st down and 10 at the 42. Wilson, 3-man rush, has time to throw again. Throws it in the middle of the field for Justin Third turnover of the game.
And there are flags on the play. It's going to be unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike conduct on the play. Kane Wilson threw it right to the defensive back. If we got a replay, we'll see who that was. But Justin Manyweather was triple coverage. Instead of going for the underneath route that was open, he goes for the deep in route that was triple covered.
So we got a flag on the play where they're going to sort that out. Corey, it's probably against both teams on that.
And this is one where if it is against both teams, Mark, you'll see it was going to be retaliatory. Here's the replay. Okay, and there's the interception by Rebay. And can't see what happened. Oh, Hewlett and DeGravio got mixed up. So it was against DeGravio, bringing Hewlett down to the ground with 30 seconds of play. And Saddleback with 30 seconds, and I still got two timeouts.
I'm going to Allen.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Allen. Allen's eating up the defensive back for the Hornets.
Yeah, I'm going and I'm trying to score. I'm trying to get at least 3 points on the board here before the end of the half. Fullerton's offense, well, we'll talk about that at halftime if we have a moment.
LaFleur out wide to the right, Spearing in the slot. Allen out wide to left. They run it to DeMarcado up the middle. No gain. And you sort of wonder if they just don't want to make a mistake, too, Corey. I mean, it looks like, I'm like you. This is where I go for the Hornets' throat.
Yeah, and actually Fullerton is calling timeouts. I actually, with 21 seconds,
I'd let the clock run.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
I'd
you?
run it out. If I'm Saddleback, actually, now. With that run, I'm going to let the clock run out and go in with the 7-point lead, because you get the ball to start the second half.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm Saddleback, I'm going to tap in the window and tell the coaches what to call here, because we got Saddleback coaches. I'll draw a little picture over here. I'm going to put Mercado back again. When they ran two wide receivers, either one of them out wide to left, they put DeMarcado behind him. DeMarcado is out there. That brings up the linebacker. That puts Allen one-on-one against our defensive backs, and he has so far looked at a better receiver in this game. So DeMarcado is doing his thing. We'll see if they do that.
And that's when they've gone to that zone.
Humphrey comes back out. Connor McBride now, the up back for the Gauchos. DeMarcado, the deep back. Humphrey, you're going to hand it off to him again. He gets taken down. Loss of the play. Timeout, Hornets.
And they have 3, so they have 1 left. And now it's going to be 3rd down. And what they're going to try to do is get a play here and try to force, if they run it again, stop them and try to force a punt or get a punt block and make something happen.
1967 national champion Hornets.
Make sure you stick around at halftime. The 1967 state and national champions are here. 35 of them showed up for this today. Saw Al Fiola. Talked to Al. Al's looking pretty good. You already told me Bill Chambers was going to be here. I saw Bill when he showed up. He had a Mickey Flynn shot glass in his hand. I think it held 32 ounces.
Well, we've got something coming from the Czech Republic in a few weeks, so we'll see what happens then. Maybe if Fullerton...
You guys didn't have to do that for me. Oh,
We'll see.
LaFleur comes out wide to the right, Spearing in the slot on the right-hand side. Allen out wide left. One-on-one coverage, Corey. Humphrey, once again, the corners come up. They're going to fake it. They're going to throw it. The ball is knocked down at the line of scrimmage and tipped in the quarterback's deck, but because the ball is tipped, there's no flag.
Yeah, and it was tipped down by Joey Noble, his second tip block pass of the game, and they're going to bring out Justin Manyweather back deep.
And the Gauchos give the Hornets a timeout because the ball is knocked down. So if Manyweather can get a decent return with 14 seconds to go, you may have one shot before the half is over.
Yeah, their long field goal of the season is only 24 yards. Fullerton
off the side of the foot. And Corey, this will be interesting where they mark this out. They're going to mark it out at the
35, 33?
35, 32, or 30. They're going to mark it out at the 30. Now another judge marks it back and says it's more like the 39.
Ball goes out of bounds to the 39-yard line. The Hornets are going to take over.
9.2. There's enough time for 2 plays.
Depending on what they are. Hook and ladder, or you go deep.
Boy, I like your call. I love your call on a hook and ladder right now.
Kadrian Wilson on the near side.
Skelton in at quarterback. Skelton's going to keep it himself. He's got to run out of bounds. He gets hit while he's out of bounds. The Hornets want a flag, but that was just a love tap. Come on, you're not going to throw a flag on that.
Wilson goes out of bounds.
So you know Wilson has a good arm to put a little bit more loft on the ball than Kane Wilson. Kane Wilson's already been picked off twice.
So Ladarius Skelton, 4 seconds left. Skelton goes back. Gotta have time. Gotta have time. Gotta have time. Does. Throws it up. It's a jump ball and good double coverage by the Gauchos.
Kyle Quarter, nice tip away. You tip the ball down on the throw. He had the receiver there and Darvice Simpson, but Quarter did a better job knocking it down, and you go into halftime with the lead. So we watch the replay before we go down to Richie Melgoza. And actually, let's go down to Richie Melgoza with Tim Burns right now. As you see Quarter there, knock it away.
I'm here with head coach Tim Burns. Coach, this is the first time you guys are going into the half down. What do you got to change to make your team come out and win this game?
We just got to play smarter. They're out playing us right now as far as assignment football, and we're not doing that, and that's why they're winning the football game.
Coach, a couple of fumbles, some interceptions so far this game, something we saw earlier on the season, but you guys fixed. How are you going to change that?
Well, the quarterbacks just got to make good reads. They're not making good reads right now.
We saw what happened. Is that something that you think deflated your team a little bit, the injury?
Not at all. That has nothing to do with it. Our kids just got to play football. They're not playing assignment football, and that's a problem.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck going in the second half. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Richie.
Well, the 67 team, maybe if Ryan Osler and Ryan just get a couple of those guys down on the field, a couple of uniforms, Jim Fossil could still throw it.
Hey, guys.
And we're going to go down to Ryan and Richie. They're going to have interviews throughout the halftime.
So, Ryan,
Festivities.
hopefully you got somebody down there.
Oh, he does. He's coming up. We got him. But Fullerton, Ryan, you ready?
I am indeed. Right now I'm being joined by Jamal Scott, and also I'm being joined by Justin Parcells. Guys, you guys played here at Fullerton College last year, national championship team. What was that like for you?
It was good. We was all together. The chemistry was there, and it just felt right. So I kind of knew it was headed in that direction to win that championship. So I already knew.
Justin, last year you lead the team in tackles, lead them in sacks as well, and then you move on to the D1 level. What keyed your success at the community college level?
What was the question again?
You ended up leading the team in tackles and sacks. What keyed your success at this level?
Just following the defense, doing what's called. At the end of the day, it just comes down to making plays. So, you just got to take advantage of every opportunity you get.
In this edition of the game last year, unfortunately, you guys didn't come away with the victory that you would have wanted, but you have redemption in winning the championship. How did it feel to go up against a team like Saddleback?
We knew they were going to be a tough team, and it's a very important game here at Fullerton. So the whole preparation, the whole week, the preparation was on the key, and the coaches were real hard on us. But it sucked that we, fell short, but it was good winning that national championship. We wanted to play them again because it would have been a good game.
Rivalry matchups are everything once you move on. What's it like to play in a rivalry game like this?
Tensions are high. Everyone wants to compete and everyone wants to win. Especially here, it's really competitive.
Well, thank you guys. Good luck at the D1 level. We're going to send it back up to you guys, but Richie's going to have an interview in just a couple seconds. Back up to you.
As you see the 1967 team down on the field, the second national championship team for Hal Scherbeck and the Hornets. This team was one of the best. They won 12 games, went undefeated to claim the state and national championship title. And you look at that team, it was very, very impressive. It was one of those teams in the midst of a 47-game win streak by the Hornet team. So yeah, so we're going to have Richie Melgoza down talking to another former Fullerton player.
So I'm here with Austin McGee, punter from last year's national championship team. Austin, you're out here today watching this game. What do you see? What do you think the Hornets got to do to come out with the victory in this game?
Oh, man, we just got to come out and get this monkey off our back, man. Saddleback's that monkey, you know. I think we're playing down to our level. We're not coming out and executing. And, I mean, part of that's just a little nerves. You know, I think the guys come out in the second half and it'll be solid.
So you talked about the nerves. Was that something you guys had last year? We know Saddleback was the only team that dealt you guys a loss last year. Were the nerves going into that game as well?
It's bad blood, baby. It's bad blood. It's Saddleback. It's a different kind of atmosphere, man. It doesn't feel like any other kind of game. They believe they can play with us, and you know we believe they can play with them. But the thing is a lot of teams don't think they can play with us, and so it's always different, man. It's always competitive and it's always fun. But yes, there are a lot of nerves.
Out here we see a lot of pushing, some shoving after plays. I imagine it was the same with that one. That's how it is with all your rivals. What do you do to stay in your lane, don't go too far, but to let them know that you're still here to play football?
Well, as you know, last year we had 20 penalties, and I'd like to say that probably about half of those are personal fouls. And I think you learn with experience, man. You learn that it's not the way you're going to win games, and you know, tippers get flared, obviously. I mean, as you can see, pushing and shoving. I mean, some guys doing gestures after sacks, touchdowns. It's going to be rough like that all day, man, but that's the Saturdays we prep for, and that's what we're here for, man.
All right, how many games have you gone to so far this season?
This is my second time I came to watch us play Mount San Antonio College. Very proud alumni, baby.
Got to come out here to see those important games. So, obviously, that game, that was supposed to be a really difficult game, too. But going into halftime, we're up 42-7. This time, completely different story, 21-14. We got a tight-knit game. So, I mean, just what is it that the team's got to do to stay together, to stay in this game? What can Fullerton not do to make sure they stay in this game?
Well, obviously, we got to manage turnovers. We got 2 crucial turnovers that are biting us right now. We got to just take care of the ball, man, execute, and just play our game, man. You know, slow things down, play our game. I think Saddleback came in with a lot of momentum. With a chip on their shoulder, and we got to just do our best to keep them from having any momentum. And right now they have momentum. It's 21-14. It's come out in the second half. It's a new ball game.
So you're in the locker room right now, halftime. Let's just say it's you guys. You're down 21-14. What are you telling your other teammates right now?
Hey, head up, baby, chin up, 0-0. Because you know what? If you play your game, it'll take care of itself. We always say 0-0, man.
All right, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Really, if you look at a play in the first half, that's the play of the game. And that 79-yard run. When you have that pass, there was Kane Wilson when he was looking good. To Jordan Huffman is there to make the stop. And here's the touchdown pass to Clinton Allen on the outside. That's where Davion Bullock bit on the pump fake, and Clinton Allen was wide open. Kane Wilson, here's the first of his 2 interceptions on a diving play by Dante Hamilton to pick it off and stop that drive. Marcus Grossman was there, and you see talking there. And here is the option play by Cuero from Humphrey. Nice drive for Saddleback as they're up at the half, 21-14. So Fullerton with their hands full, as you see the 1967 national championship team for Fullerton College. 35 members around here. Some of those members you see out there, Jim Fossil. We all know who Jim Fossil is. New York Giant, led the New York Giants to a Super Bowl versus the Baltimore Ravens. Coach also here at Fullerton College, as he played at Fullerton College, as you can tell, because he was on the 67 national championship team. Also, Larry McDuff. Larry McDuff is one of those defensive guys. He was an end for Fullerton, 6 feet, 195 pounds, and he was an end. Larry McDuff is the guy one of the guys responsible for Desert Swarm in college football. And if you don't know what that is Arizona Wildcat defense in the late 80s and early 90s, mid-90s as well. And yeah, we're going to try to get another. We are going to try to get another interview out there. Responsible for that Desert Swarm defense in Arizona. I mean, they were phenomenal back there in the late 80s, early 90s. You just didn't know what was going to happen when you were an opposing team coming in there. You didn't know if you were going to score any points. Teddy Bruschi, Darrell Lewis, part of that defensive unit. This 67 team, third largest victory margin in Fullerton College history, 60 points. They beat Cyprus 68-8 in 1967. They were part of that 47-win team for over a few seasons for Hal Scherbeck. It's 47. There are 4 years, 47 consecutive wins for Hal Scherbeck and Fullerton College. This 67-68 team, 66-68, 28 straight wins for this group, and they were part of that career. And also part of this team, Ryan, down to you.
Right now I'm here with Carl Sweet, member of that 1967 championship. Carl, you look back at that 67 championship, 12-0. You guys beat San Diego City, Bakersfield, and American River. But let's go to that second game against Bakersfield. What was it like to beat the #1 team in the nation?
Well, it was great. It was a battle. They missed a PAT and we got ours. But it was a hard-hitting, nail-biting football game. It was a hell of a game. Once we won that game, we knew we were over the top.
You guys swept through the conference en route to your undefeated season. What was it like to get wins over your top rivals?
Well, I think at that time Santa Ana and Orange Coast were our two big rivals, and it was very good. We had a great group of guys and a great group of coaches, and it was just kind of a perfect storm to all come together at one time.
You speak about the coaches. They were in the middle of a 47-game unbeaten streak. Was there any pressure on you guys as players?
Well, it was always there. It was always in the background, and we ended up losing my sophomore year. We lost to San Diego City on a real controversial play and cost us the winning streak and also the opportunity to go into the state playoffs again. So we were looking forward to repeating.
In 1967, you face American River. That was kind of a similar opponent to what Fullerton faced last year to win their 2016 national championship. Do you see any similarities between your team and this team?
Well, the only similarities I would say is there was 11 people on each team on the field. There's a lot more speed going on now, a lot more passing, a lot more skilled players. Players are bigger, faster, stronger. But for our time, we were very, very good. We only gave up 64 points, I believe, over a 12-game schedule. So our defense was lights out, and our offense was explosive. I think we scored 360-some points also. So, like I said, it was kind of a perfect storm, and it was a dream season for us, and I think a dream season for the coaches also.
How does it feel to be able to come back to Fullerton, not only watch a game, but be able to remingle with some of your teammates?
We had a nice dinner last night with about 21 of us, and then today we had probably about 30 guys here. And it's awesome. We haven't seen each other in 50 years, so it's fantastic.
You see Fullerton face a big rival that they have right now in Saddleback. Does that bring back any feelings for you?
Well, Saddleback wasn't in existence when we played, but it would be more like us playing against Santa Ana or Orange Coast. And, anytime you play those people, you don't know what to expect. not always the best team wins because of the rivalry and the intensity of the play and all that. But it's I hope to see the Hornets get a few more points up on the board in the second half.
Well, thank you, Carl. Let's send it back to the president and the doctor inside the booth. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. And again, nice job. And this 1967 guys, they have been nothing but gracious with their time. We've been grateful for them for coming on the air with us, doing interviews before the game. And like we said, this team was special. Also on that team in 1967 was Jerry McCoy, receiver. 79 receptions, 1,284 yards, 19 touchdowns in his career at Fullerton College. That is in the top 10 for Fullerton College receiving all time. Gary Orcutt was the MVP of that 1967 championship team. And we've already mentioned Larry McDuff. Other players, Jerry McCoy, 7th single season receiving, 6th career receptions, 5th career yardage, 2nd in touchdown receptions for Fullerton College. Gary Orcutt, that MVP of the 1967 team. We mentioned Larry McDuff. Also on that team, we mentioned Jim Fossil. Mike White, also on that team. Dave Cook, and we'll go off the roster. Dave Cook, Gary Swanson, Bill Van Leeuwen, also on that team. You already mentioned Ray Ogus.
Ray Ogus. I tell you, Ray Ogus went down and played for Eric Coryell down at San Diego State. He brought that up when he was talking to Ryan about it, and he said he went down there. You know the thing that's interesting, though?
Don't forget his dad, Dave. We talked to Dave Ogus as well.
But
he went down to Santa Ana, Hall of Fame, too.
You know what I want to bring up, though, Corey? You watch the highlights. I watch the highlights. You look at that team, and you think if these guys could all be 18 and 19 again, they ran a pro set back there. They ran power sweeps, and nobody stopped them on a power sweep. I think they could play anybody in the nation today if they were all 18 and 19 again.
If you extrapolate the weight and the height with each of these players, yeah, they would be able to do that because that pro set offense, because they executed so well, is how they did it. That the traditional pro set, not the pro set you see out there with the pro set as guy in a shotgun with the receiver running back standing right next to him. The pro set up under center, 2 receivers, a fullback and a tailback or a halfback, and you run those Packer sweeps, the student body rights and the student body lefts to perfection.
Hey, give me a wide receiver like Tony Pena, 185 pounds. Go out and get it. I'll tell you what, none of our receivers are any bigger than Tony Pena was when he played the game.
I think they are. I think Marcus Grossman is one of those players who could have played back then, could have played now, and is playing now. He's
Gerald
one of those guys. And Gerald Hewitt, they could have played in that structure at the time because they were fundamentally sound.
Justin Manyweather. Of course, Justin Manyweather, and of course, you sent me a text last night, and I happened to miss it because I had another team on. But, we're talking about these defensive backs. You watched one of our old defensive backs alumni last night, didn't you?
We watched D'Angelo Ross last night over at New Mexico. They lost the game, but he is their best cover guy at New Mexico this season. A little smaller in stature. If D'Angelo Ross had 2 inches on him, he would be an I don't know. He'd be an All-American because he is that good. Because he is smaller in stature, he won't get noticed. If he was 2 inches taller, he'd be a third-team All-American. He'd be a 4th-round draft pick.
You know what? I'm watching Saddleback coaches. They're flipping out the Ryan Osborne snacks next door.
And when you look at that first half, rushing for Saddleback, Amari DiMercato, 8 carries, 130 yards. That's 2, maybe 3 games against this Fullerton College defense this season. Max Gilliam was 5 of 7, 98 yards. Cam Humphrey, 3 of 7 for 41. Daquan Davis had 1 reception. Clinton Allen, you talk about that guy. 3 receptions, 99 yards. His long was 30 and 1 touchdown. So they did a nice job on the offensive end, creating confusion and mystifying that Fullerton College defense. Kane Wilson was 13 of 16. Yeah, he was nice. He only had 3 incompletions, but 2 of those incompletions went to the other team with 1 touchdown and 131 yards. Darius Skelton was 0 for 6 on his passing opportunities. That tells you that they'd rather say, okay, we're not going to let you run. You're going to have to make a play in the passing game to beat us. Rushing, Gerald Hewlett has 5 carries for 50 yards. Kane Wilson 4 for 40. But Gerald Hewlett, 5 carries, 50 yards. Let's see how many more touches he gets in the second half. 3 receptions for 19 yards, Robert Johnson. Jordan Huffman, 2 for 28. Robert Downs, 3 for 54. And on defense, leading tacklers for Saddleback, Kyle Corder with 4, along with Dante Hamilton, who has a pick, and Brad Topher with 4 tackles as well. For Fullerton, 4 tackles leading the way is Roy Otto and Joey Noble, who's had a half a sack, 1 tackle for loss, 3 pass breakups.
And Corey, let's go back to a play that didn't count. Justin Manyweather takes the balls heading down the field, and what's he do? He has it batted away for another fumble. The Hornets get another opportunity because it was offsides against the Gauchos, or that would have been another turnover. And we saw this team every once in a while get very loose with the football early in the season. And this is a team, the Gauchos, that you can't do that again. But we're at the half right now. It's the Gauchos 21, the Hornets 14. You're watching Hornet football on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV. Don't forget, Richie Melgoza, Ryan Osborne, Corey Neyland, and all our wonderful sponsors here on SportsNetUSA.net. So don't forget all our sponsors. Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Hey, you looking for a new Toyota? No better place to go than Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Of course, when you do, you got to stop by because that makes you joyful. And what makes you happier and joyful? A box of zombie donuts. I give him a box of zombie donuts. He's just happy all day long. Plus, he's got a lot of energy there, too. And, of course, the Doghouse. I love those hot dogs. The Doghouse down in Chapman, you can get that with chili. You can get it with sauerkraut. And if you're like Ryan Osborne, put some Fritos on top. You're feeling really good. Those are our 3 sponsors today. Thank you very much for making all these broadcasts possible here on SportsNetUSA.net. So the Hornets looking for the crowd to get them going. And if you're the Gauchos, well, you feeling good.
You guys buy those 50-50 tickets. We're about ready about the third quarter. We got a bunch of prizes, so buy those 50-50s. Support Hornet Dance.
Dr. Jones, Paul Jones,
Good
the
day,
athletic
sir.
director from Orange Lutheran and an alumnus here at Fullerton College on
Yes,
the air
sir.
with us. An outstanding high school athletic department and an educational facility topped by very few. Deep kick, Justin Manyweather takes it about 7 yards deep for a touchdown. Paul, it's nice to have you on the air.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Of course, I always talk up Orange Lutheran, not just because we know you, because it really is a great program, and we're out there for a lot of their softball games. So we tout the girls' side. But, I mean, expansion of Orange Lutheran, every time I talk to you, I said, what are you going to do? You guys are always having fundraisers. Anything new over at Orange Lutheran that we're going to be seeing in the near future?
You know, we're working on a few things, but we're pretty landlocked at the moment. So, we've got our eyes on few different things, but we'll see what happens, what the good Lord provides for us. But right now we're pretty happy. We built a new athletic facility that's about 3.5 years old, new gym, and some athletic offices, and expanded the weight room.
Ladarius Skelton takes the ball, comes to the left-hand side, cuts back inside. Just if they're going to mark him out, they're going to mark him right across as we watch the replay here. They take it around the corner. Ladarius Skelton gets it. Gets hit right about there. Continues to go on. But we had a flag on the play, so the play itself doesn't count as we move it back 10 yards for holding against the Hornets. It'll be a first down and 20 as the Hornets keep shooting themselves in the foot. Ladarius Skelton comes back out. Skelton hands it up the middle. Gain of 2 on the play. So you look at things that are planning on going on. You know, one of the things you don't get enough love for, and I'm going to say that really the people in athletics, you don't get enough love for the young people, men and women. No replay as we move to the next level. Educational wise, you have an outstanding graduation rate and moving to the next level at your school, don't you?
I agree. You know, we're blessed. We turn out quite a few kids who get to go on and play at the next level.
Darius Skelton gets a gain of 3, so the offense is stagnant. Get another flag on the play. So flag on the play. So Ladarius Skelton goes back, pulls it down. It's got no place to go. Basically gets stopped after a gain of 2. So we get a flag. We get a flag against the Gauchos for unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's going to move it up the field. Be first down at 10 at 35. Paul and I are just watching a little football. We're really not talking about any football. Darius Skelton comes out, hands it off, keeps it himself, sidesteps 1, stays down there, needs to tuck it away, down at the 49. You've watched this Hornet team, two-headed monster. Ladarius Skelton comes back, somebody that can throw, but basically is a runner that throws the football, and then Kane Wilson. You a fan of that, just as a fan?
You know, I'm a fan of whatever gets the ball moving and scores points. So, you know, I believe that if the coaches know what's going to get the ball moving and put points on the board, then you say, okay, go ahead.
Skelton carries it again, game of 2. They're going to make a second down and 8. And here you see Skelton just taking it, going down there, getting a gain of 2 on the play. So it's going to bring up a second down and 8. Skelton brings about second down and 8 right across midfield. Skelton goes back, has time, double pumps. Here comes the pressure, throws the middle of the field, throws it for Marcus Grossman, the sure-handed Marcus Grossman. Is drops it as his person behind me says it was thrown too low, incomplete pass. 13:08 to go here in the third quarter. It's the Gauchos 21, the Hornets 14. Gauchos changing out defensively. Skelton moves people from right to left. Big third down, has time, takes his time. Here comes the pressure, throws it to Hewlett out in the flat as Skelton gets a delayed blitz up the middle, and on the delayed blitz by Blake Kennan, that makes him throw it away. So the Hornets get the kickoff, can't do a thing with it. And the Gauchos feeling a little giddy up in their step right now here on SportsNetUSA.net. Realm Inocense comes out on the field. He's got a touchdown in this game. Carried the ball once, brought it in. That's what gave him the lead. High, booming kick. Inocense signals for a fair catch at the 10 and falls backwards. He's going to be down at the 8. So with timeout on the field, 12:56 to go. It's the Gauchos 21, the Hornets 14. Paul, really, when you look at Orange Lutheran, I mean, you get the pick of the crop athlete-wise. And I'm going to ask somebody at a private school. I mean, do you think the rules ought to go back to the old days where if you live in the neighborhood, you ought to go to school there? Or do you like that aspect with many of the parochial schools get to do, pick and choose those athletes? I'm putting you on the spot here, aren't I?
You know, I like the rules the way they are, where students get to choose. But, you know, it's not just the private schools that, you know, have their pick, so to speak. But there's a lot of public schools. If you look at Centennial, Mission Viejo, where kids come from all over. We lose kids to those different public schools as well, and they don't live in the areas.
So we get a flag on this penalty. We get holding against the Gauchos as the DeMarcado dips in, goes the outside right there, holding on the line of scrimmage. That's going to move them back. So it'll bring up a 1st and 15 for the Hornets. 12:45 to go here in the third quarter. Looking over to the sideline, trying to get a read out there. LaFleur out wide to the right. Max Gillum back in at quarterback. Gillum goes over to LaFleur. LaFleur gets taken down after he crosses the 10. Going to be a gain of maybe 7 on the play. So we hear it from the parochial king that we see on this replay. Well, the parochial schools lose top-notch players to the little everyday average school in high school. I don't know. That could be a conversation here at sports@usa.net. Look at Paul's
They're not
looking at me
average
going,
schools.
I'm not going there.
You know,
like
Mission
that,
Viejo, Centennial, those are top-notch schools. San Clemente.
You know, when I talk to them, they go, those parochial schools. It's pretty interesting back. Gillum has the ball knocked out of it. 4th tipped at the line of scrimmage. Paul, I mean, I know you hear stuff like that at CIF and everything else. And I mean, we're kidding about it right here. But I mean, it's got to be a tough subject for you. And that's why I bring it up. As we watch this ball get tipped at the line of scrimmage right there. I mean, it really does. It's got to be that tough subject that you've got to deal with from parents all the time.
Oh, yeah, parents, coaches, and then there's so many misconceptions from people who may not understand the inner workings of, the transfers and whatnot. But, I mean, we lost last year to Rancho Cucamonga in the playoffs. That's a public school.
Well, I'm going to let Paul get back to going because Paul's giving me those dirty looks here going, Mark, I tell you what, you got my...
Easy interview, Mark. Easy.
Paul's going, you get me on, let's see, CIF, you're getting me on intra-district transfers. Love Paul here, an alumnus from Fullerton College. Thanks, Paul, for being on the air.
Thank you for having me.
So the Hornets defense comes up big with 11:09 to go here in the third quarter. End over end, Justin Manyweather takes it at the 48. Manyweather dances back, sees a sea of yellow, takes it on like a butterfly flying around bumblebees and gets up to the 40 here on sports@usa.net.
Roberson and Toper on the tackle. Hornets going to have 1st and 10 down at the Saddleback 41-yard line.
Corey Neyland needs to get in there. So here we come. Kane Wilson comes up to the line of scrimmage. Marcus Grossman goes in motion from left to right. Kane Wilson goes back, has time to throw. Throws it out in the flat, sidestep. No, we get a flag. Once again behind the line of scrimmage. And Kane Wilson says, as you watch this one again, Kane Wilson goes back. And then it was right there, Corey, which the very end, which you couldn't see, Kane Wilson, his lineman gets whacked in the side of the helmet. That's where the personal...
Muhammad Jefferson got called for one early in the first half. Now Jake Hudson gets called for it. He comes out of the game, and taking his spot is Austin Moore. And we want to thank Paul Jones for coming on. I told Paul, go on with Mark. It's going to be easy. You're going to talk about the game. Mark threw me under the bus, boy.
Huffman goes out. Kane Wilson goes back. They run a little delayed screen right up the middle. Crossing there. Gets down across to the 15. Marcus Grossman a little delay there.
You don't know
across
how,
the middle of the field.
Mark, sorry to interrupt. You do not know how good of a play that play was by Honor O'Casey. Watch him fight off the block on this screen. This screen is designed to go 15, 20 end zone. O'Casey moves right past Rashad Harris.
Next play, Kane Wilson trying to throw the same play. Corey loses it out of his hand. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. Boy, this is going to be interesting if the Hornets don't get in the end zone.
No, depends. If it's 3rd down and 2 yards to go, you go for it.
Okay. Hewlett back in the backfield. Huffman comes out to the left. Grossman with him on the left-hand side. Hewlett goes in motion from left to right. Here they come. Throw it back the other direction. Try to get one block. They get one block. Touchdown, Fullerton College. Flag on the play.
And on that side, it might be a takedown against Fullerton. Going to bring that. You watch the outside and the blocking. You're going to see a hold. So they're going to get Robert Downs the third. Illegal block in the back on, on somebody.
How many? I know you had the stats, but I didn't even hear the penalty count for either team when we were looking at it.
Oh, penalty, it was even. I mean,
was it?
It was both ways. I mean, 5 penalties for Saddleback, 7 for Fullerton.
Big penalty against the Hornets. Brings up a 3rd down and 15 now. Moves them all the way back to 22. Kane Wilson. Here comes the pressure. Kane Wilson is going to run into himself. Straight up the middle. Touchdown, Kane Wilson. Listen to Corey Neyland.
He did that 38 yards earlier in the season, and one of the best runs you'll see. And this time, everything opened up, and he just went right through. Watch the offensive line and watch it. Spread out. Gerald Hewlett takes out the middle linebacker, and Kane Wilson doesn't even hesitate and takes off down the middle. That's the touchdown you needed to get back in the game for Hornet fans.
9:48 to go, and Kane Wilson scores. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 9:48 to go here in the second half, we're knotted up at 21. So now the defense for the Hornet. They're all knotted up, and this is what you expect in that Saddleback football game. There's the cheerleaders down the sidelines. Corey talked about world-class championship dance team here on sportsnetusa.net.
Trying to coordinate an interview with a former Fullerton College dance team member. So we'll see if Richie Melgoza can pull that off, and we'll see if we got a brand new ball game. It looks like DeMercado is back deep along with Daquan Davis. And it is DeMercado, Mark.
DeMercado takes it. Sidestep, stops dead, trying to make a cut, gets pulled down. And so the Gauchos will have 1st down and 10 right at the 13-yard line.
And you see the replay on the kick. Kerry Walker gets there along with Brian Terry to make the tackle. And it was a nice kick. It was up in the air as it allowed the hit team to get down there and make the stop. Noble, Moore, Bonner, and Proctor up front. Darrell in the middle, Johnson on the right side, Otto on the left side of linebacker, Dorsey from left to right, Farmer, Jones, and Jones.
Max Gillum back in. LaFleur out wide to the right. Throw it to DeMercado, who gets taken down, and actually it was a bad pass, but good defense to make the play.
Sorry about that run back, Mark. I told you wrong. It was DeMercado. It was actually Roosevelt Abram. So we want to give Abram his props there. And you see the replay. It was thrown high because Montre Bonner put his hands up and it made it high, and a tough catch for DeMercado to gain some semblance of a run after catch.
Allen out wide to the left. LaFleur out wide to the right.
And
Gillum at quarterback.
And I'm sorry, you talk about one of the great Fullerton College teams, the 67 team, last year's team. Here is where a defensive play would happen.
Colin Kentros. Gillum takes it himself, gets tripped up. They're going to mark him down on a quarterback keeper right up the middle. So he does the same thing that Kane Wilson does and gets up to the 25.
And
It's a third down and makeable first.
And that's Shane Darso who tripped him up, and Saddleback and Gilliam say, well, this is what our 96-92 team did and 85 team did. You guys are supposed to make a play on defense. We'll just make the play on offense.
Allen alone all the way out to the left. LaFleur, Freeman out to the right. They sneak up. They look at Gillum. They want to come. DeMarcado, the deep back. Big third down and 4 for the Hornet defense. Allen has won these battles when they've gone his direction. They've gone over the other side. Picked right there. Corey Neyland, touchdown Fullerton College.
And they're going to say touchdown Fullerton. Well, we need to have a replay on that because DeJuan Dorsey looked like his knee touched the ground after the pick. And in college football, your knee is down. So we're going to see the replay here. DeJuan Dorsey steps into the pass. They've been waiting for this all game long in front of Humphreys. And he went, oh, yeah, he was down.
He didn't go down.
He didn't go down?
No.
Can we give that replay one more time? Let's see, because so that was a huge play by Fullerton.
Corey,
here's the replay. You can't really tell.
And the Hornets run a 2-point conversion and get in.
So Fullerton, big 2-point conversion to go up by 8 points. And we're going to rewatch that replay on the interception. DeJuan Dorsey, his first pick of the year. And we're going to watch. Oh,
this is
the
a two-pointer.
Okay.
The 2-point conversion we're watching. Well, Ladarius Skelton, that's just a quarterback keeper. They're going to run it to the right. You get a nice block out there, Corey. And the block on the end, what sells that, because if that defender comes off, hey, guys, was he down or what?
Here on the field, he was not down. His knee did not actually touch the carpet yet. Just moments ago, I talked to Coach James Griffin, asked him what's so hard about this Saddleback defense in the first and start of the second half. He said, it's not their defense necessarily, more our offense. If we can step out of our own way, we'll be able to do just fine. But in regards to that last touchdown, his knee wasn't down. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
So Corey now back deep is going to be Daquan Davis is back there with DeMarcado. Oh, it's Daquan Davis has it, tries to cut the outside, gets up to the 25, and that's where he stopped.
And there's going to be an unnecessary, unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary sportsmanlike, necessary roughness, whatever you want to call it. It's going to go against Fullerton. The chippiness is turned into unnecessariness, stupidity. You don't need to go that extra effort to bring somebody down who's already down. And it was a good call by the officials. It should be 15 yards because you don't need that type of activity. And, Mark, you got one on him.
Huh?
You said he wasn't down.
No, it didn't look like he was down, and I thought the thing was because he kept going. Usually you'll see these backs, if they touch a knee, they don't want to get hurt, so they'll just go down. Saddleback comes out. Matt Gillum still at quarterback. LaFleur goes out wide to the right. Allen goes out wide left. First down and 10 at the 40. They run to DeMarcado. DeMarcado now, Corey, the defense says if you can beat us, throw the football.
And that's Joey Noble, who's had an outstanding game up front. That's his third tackle to go along with 4 balls batted down. And a tackle for loss as well. That's his second tackle for loss. And you see the replay here as he fights off the defender at the end. It was a nice job of cutting through initially, and that was Cameron Proctor, who was there initially to slow up DeMarcado.
So we have a timeout for Fullerton with 7:21 to go here in the third quarter. Well, the Hornets have taken the lead. It's the Hornets 29, the Gauchos 21. You're watching Hornet football on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV. And I can't say this enough. Thank you, everybody from Fullerton College TV. You have made all these games special for us here on SportsNetUSA.net. That's right. If you're looking for a career in television, maybe you just want to find out if it's something you want to do from the technical aspect. You want to be on camera, well, you take that 145 sports broadcasting class. If you want to be behind the camera, we'll go over to that TV department. They have some of the top experts in the field of television that can let you know how the industry itself works. So if you got a little time on your hands, want to find out about TV, no better place to go than Fullerton College and the Fullerton College TV department. Second down and 11. Max Gillum comes out. LaFleur out wide to the right. Freeman with him. Allen out wide to left. DeMarcado goes in motion from left to right. They pump fake, and Gillum says, "Excuse me, I was looking for change. I thought the bus was coming this way."
Caleb Johnson has been near all game. This time he gets his second sack of the season. There was that pump fake. They're trying to go. But again, they run a stunt up the middle as Johnson loops in from the outside. Noble comes from the outside, and he comes in for the stop.
So the Hornets get another sack in the game. It's going to bring up a third down and 16. Right at the 34. Hornets look like they're coming. 4 down lineman, and Corey, here comes the pressure with 4 down lineman. Gillum gets caught from behind. Another sack on the play.
And that's the second for Kerry Walker, his second sack of the game. And Fullerton did a nice job of getting after the quarterback. Gilliam drops back, but there's nowhere to go. They fake the blitz, and they drop back. Johnson drops back, so we have double teams up the seam. Kerry Walker doesn't give up and brings it down by the shoelace.
Justin Manyweather at the 25. He creeps up a little.
Whatever you do.
Hornets 29, the Gauchos 21. Go ahead, Corey.
I was going to say, don't kick it to him.
And they don't. They kick it away one more. And Justin Manyweather says, you know what? I'll take it, get a couple more yards. It gets all the way up to the 30. Corey, this is a ball that's going to float out of bounds. 7 yards is 7 yards. That's a huge 7 yards by Justin Manyweather.
Yeah, because with 5:52 to play in the third quarter, anything can happen in this game between these two teams because we've seen it for a long time. No lead is safe. Whether you're down, if you're the Gauchos, or you're down for the Hornets, the other team is going to come back.
Ryan Ritchie, when you get a chance, if your camera guys come around, let us know because momentum's got to change down that sideline. Kane Wilson now back there. Kane Wilson says, I'll run it, keeps it again, gets a gain of 5 on the play.
And he fakes it deep. He wanted to hit, it looks like Manyweather going up, trying to hit the seam, but good downfield coverage. The safety, nobody get by you. Nobody got by him.
Kane Wilson in the shotgun, goes back. Hewlett sneaks out. He's looking for Wilson. Wilson going down deep. Wilson's got it over his right shoulder, pulls it in, first down Hornets.
And what allows that 35-yard play to happen is time up front. Wilson looked to the right and wanted to go to Wilson all along because Ryan Wilson did a nice job of making that catch over the shoulder.
So we move it up quickly to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10. Wilson says, let's not stop. I got the minnow going. He gets hit. He spins off of that one. He steps out, tries to get out. We get a flag on the play. Usually that is a place where holding is called.
Yeah, the line judge signals holding.
Number 60, Turnout County, remains first down.
That hold goes against Rashad Harris. And it's just a simple fly route against Wyrick. And the perfectly thrown ball to the outside shoulder. 1 foot in bounds, goes down with the second knee. Good job.
So it's going to bring up a first down and 20, right at the 27. Hewlett in the backfield. Wilson out wide to the left. They run the option with Hewlett. Wilson keeps it himself, runs over the middle linebacker, and gets it all the way down to the 18.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. Jack Dexter, the linebacker, and he's hurt. Let's hope the young man is okay. Jack Dexter is 6'3", 215. You're not supposed to have a quarterback who's 6'4", 230, a little bit older, run you over like that. Good play by Kane Wilson. Nice job by Dexter to bring him down.
Get an official timeout on the field. Wait a minute. Did you say a little bit older?
A little bit.
So we have just equipment. They've got to change things out, so they've got to bring in a new lineman.
Delton Crandall goes out. James Stanton comes in for...
They come back out quickly. Hewlett in the backfield. Wilson goes out to left. Hewlett goes in motion from right to left. They flip out to Hewlett. Caught on the pass. Gets the initial block. Sidesteps one. Cross the 15 down to the 13.
Nice job by Jake Hudson saving a tackle, but nice outside blocking by Robert Johnson. Those wide receivers connect on the block. Hewlett makes one man miss. It makes this third down much more manageable as Huffman and Grossman come back in on the right side. And Robert Johnson's limping just a little bit.
4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's the Hornets 29, the Gauchos 21. Control of the conference in this game if you win this game today. Wilson goes back, big third down. Grossman goes in motion from right to left. Wilson holds on to it, then flips it out there and holding on to a touchdown, Hornets.
Talk about what a special play that was. Kane Wilson waited for Robert Downs III to do a 3-yard square in from the slot. He comes down on a banana slant, holds his ground as Dante Hamilton was coming through, and he makes that throw. What you always say, if you're going to get hit, make that throw. He does. Robert Downs doesn't quit. Kane Wilson doesn't quit on the play.
So the Hornets, with 3:38 to go, can take a 15-point lead. Corey, that's not a comfortable lead against Saddleback.
No, and what you like about the end of the play is Kane Wilson and Dante Hamilton say, good play, man. Good play, guy. And helping each other up.
Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 3:38 to go, it's Fullerton 36, the Gauchos 21. You're watching Hornet football on SportsNetUSA.net.
And it started with that throw downfield, 35 yards, Wilson in the pocket. He knew he wanted Wilson, Ryan Wilson on the outside. He hasn't been perfect all day. He's been accurate, but he hasn't been perfect like he usually is. That was the perfect pass and a very good catch to get that momentum and keep it going.
Well, I think here's the big thing, too. We all wondered. I think everybody wondered. Okay, they've never been down at halftime. They're always up by a lot. How are they going to react?
So far, so good.
But in these games, the last 4 years, they've been decided by 5 points. And, Corey, usually it's the last 30 seconds to see who wins this football game.
So 5 years and 5 points, or each game has been within 5 points?
Each game's been within 5 points.
Looks like Cuero has it, and he's got nowhere to go, Mark. Again, good special teams coverage by the Hornets, and that's Kerry Walker who's having himself a game. And like you say in my Sylvester Stallone voice, it's not over. It's never over. You have to think about that.
The thing that's interesting about this, too, now is Allen has disappeared as a receiver so far in the second half.
Well, watch what they're doing. Those safeties, only on third downs and long are they dropping back in a would-be zone. The corners are playing man-to-man. Watch Taj Jones over there. He wants to play man-to-man coverage. We don't need to play zone. We got it.
Allen against Taj Jones, far to the left. LaFleur comes out wide to the right. Spearing in the slot on the right-hand side. Pump fake. They were looking for Allen, and there's no place to go because Allen's not open.
And that's JaMychal Moore who's in there for the stop. You see number 95 out there. That's 3.5 sacks on the season. But what they did that time is actually read that play well. They said, Taj Jones, jump the route. Cameron Powell, make sure you take Allen coming deep. Don't worry about the middle of the field. David Farmer had it. Good rotation on defense.
Second down and 17 on another big sack. And so the Hornets looking to try and make one more stop. Max Gillum at quarterback looks over and says, LaFleur, Allen, help me out here. He shifts people back. Freeman, Spearing goes to the left-hand side with Allen. DeMarcado takes it up the middle. Doesn't get back to the original sticks, but picks up 3 on the play.
Shane Darso is there on the stop, number 92, and you're blue numerals, gray jersey for the Hornets. And the replay, watch Shane Darso come off the block, read it, stay there, and bring him down. Nice job, and good job up front as well by the Saddleback. We'll go down to the sideline after this play and see what they got to say. Hey, that rhyme.
Max Gillum brings about big third down. Gillum can't find anything. Fields pressure, steps out of one, and Corey, here comes the beat to take him down. He gets driven out of bounds at the 12.
Caleb Johnson is playing like the man.
So the momentum, you guys talked about the momentum down here. It is completely different from the first half. This seems like a completely different team. Over here on the sidelines, after every tackle, they're jumping around. When Kane ran over that defender, they were going crazy. So the momentum is completely different over here on the sideline. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Rich.
Justin Manyweather wants to make it Mr. Momentum with 1:39 to go here in the third quarter. The Hornets up by 15. Comes the pressure. Manyweather has a possibility. Takes it at the 40. Steps. Has a wall. Cuts to the inside. To the outside. Couldn't get away. Corey Neyland was whipping the pony. Saying, come on, Justin. Go, my man.
No, that's
as he
animal
gets taken down.
That's animal cruelty, Mark. Gage Robertson with the touchdown saving tackle. And again, you look at the play, Justin Manyweather sensed it, and he has an innate ability to see and sense the cuts. Look at the lane right there. He sees it, and his players are right in the way, but nice job coming back there to bring him down, because if he doesn't bring him down, that's 6 points.
Robert Johnson goes out wide to the right. Simpson next to him on the right-hand side. Justin Manyweather there. Wilson out wide left. Ladarius Skelton looks for a block in the corner. He gets blocks in the corner. They seal the alley. Turns the corner. Nice 15-yard gain.
And an homage to the 1967 team. Sweep right. Your guard pulls. Your running back leads. Your wide receiver kicks out. And that's what you do. You open up a line. So you see everybody pulling to the right side, creating a lane. And he keeps it on the fake.
Ladarius Skelton once again stays on his feet, spins, touchdown Hornets. Skelton refused to go down, and the Hornets now are starting to take a little air out of that Gaucho balloon.
27-yard touchdown run. You wonder what was said at halftime with this coaching staff. They're a completely different team.
You watch it here. Ladarius Skelton, once again, he's going to fake the handoff to Hewlett on the dive. He delays to wait for a block, finds the alley, refuses to go down. When he realizes Corey's still on his feet, it's a run. Ball is blocked, and this could be a 2-point conversion if you can take it back.
And Johnny Carmack is Johnny on the spot.
Johnny Carmack, the holder, knows that if the Gauchos took it back, it's a 2-point play.
And you see, that's Dante Hamilton again who comes up with the big play. He's got an interception. He's got to pick up that extra point block. And what it does is it creates only a 21-point lead. So that's just 3 touchdowns and extra points. You don't have to worry about going for a 2-point conversion. And you mentioned Johnny Carmack. Somebody said he was the heart and soul of this team.
He is. He really is. Johnny Carmack's all of that. This is a 4th-string quarterback, and that's not a demeaning statement because of the talent you've got on this team. I mean, you look at Photo, who's the number 3 on this team. Talented young man at a quarterback. You got Kane Wilson. And you got Ladarius Skelton. And you got Photo. And Johnny Carmack's down the bottom. And Corey, he is a true athlete that's out here all the time.
Yeah, you have to change position because you have those 3 plus Hendrick. So where does that leave Carmack? Leaves Carmack as a holder and one of those guys that you need on the team who will make a play this season for you. There was one there.
Back deep is Davis one more time. Standing next to Davis is Curo. Davis is going to backpedal. Davis, Daquan Davis takes it at the 1. Davis gets spit, hit, driven into the ground, pinball wizard, bounce off of you, bounce at him, and that stops him there.
And that's Roy Otto. And Mark, you see the difference. You see the difference when they stop chipping and chirping and stop talking back to the players on the opposite team and worried about what you're supposed to do. David catches us after one. Tim Burns talked about assignment football at halftime with Richie. Your assignment on a kick return on that coverage, know your lanes, play your lanes, know your assignment, and execute.
So the Gauchos need to find an answer someplace. They bring Cam Humphrey back in at quarterback. So Humphrey comes in at quarterback. First down and 10. DeMercado goes in motion. Humphrey throws it out to the flat to him. He gets the initial block, turns the corner, gain of 6 on the play.
And you like that play. That's one of those plays that slow down the defense. Fullerton is very aggressive coming up. They're very aggressive playing that pass. Montre Bonner just a little bit too low on the jump. Nice throw and toss.
So Humphrey in, LaFleur out wide to the right. In the slot next to him is Davis. Spearing inside him. DeMercado goes in motion from right to left. Spearing gets it. Looks like it bounced off the ground. It did. He caught it. They call him down at the 20.
And that's DeJuan Dorsey who makes the tackle. Chris Spearing caught it before it short hopped as Jermichael Moore checks out.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. As we come to the end of the third quarter, it's the Hornets 42, the Gauchos 21. You're watching Hornet football on Sportsnet, USA.net. Remember, Miller Toyota of Anaheim. That's right. Now's the time to buy. Graduation Christmas is around the corner. Head down to Miller Toyota. They're going to get ready for those cars for next year to come out. Find that good deal from Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Located at Euclid and the 91, Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of community college sports, high school sports, but most of all, education. And of course, if you buy yourself a new Toyota, you got to celebrate. What better way to celebrate than getting 3 dozen donuts from Zombie Donuts? That's right. One for me, one for Corey, and then Richie and Ryan, you get to split the other 3 with whoever shows up. Zombie Donuts, Halloween's around the corner. They make the greatest delicious donuts
Mark,
you could get, Zombie Donuts.
One for me, one for you, and the other 3 and 10 donuts, 3 boxes and 10 donuts.
And of course, we want to welcome the Doghouse, Corey. We like hot dogs. I like hot dogs. I like everything on a hot dog. You name it. More chili, please. Make that a foot-long hot dog. Well, I've been to the Doghouse at 2555 East Chapman Avenue in Fullerton. Tell you what, some of the best hot dogs. See, I'm so excited. I need a hot dog right now. Guys, go get me a hot dog. Some of the best hot dogs you could ever have at the Doghouse in Fullerton. They are delicious. I tell you what, they would remind you of Fullerton College football. They are at the top of the manor, to say the least.
Fullerton's got 15, 16 people on the field right now on defense. And what this does is Cameron Proctor was in there when he shouldn't have been. Joey Noble was running out. So it makes this third down more manageable. This is a good break for the Gauchos because now you can run or pass. In this formation, you saw them score on an option pitch to Cuero.
Clinton Allen out wide to the left. LaFleur out wide to the right. Spearing in the slot on the right-hand side. I formation. Then they move out of it. They have the up back. Now a pistol. Humphrey looks over. There's that run that we were talking about, and DeMercado gets decleated at the 25-yard line.
Hey, you know what's funny, Mark? Rudy Navarro is in there at the middle linebacker. He's only 5'7" out of Fullerton High School, but every time he's in the game, he's around the ball. You watch Cole McCarty there, and Rudy Navarro shot the gap and made initial contact.
So the Gauchos are going to have to punt it away with 14:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Clock's ticking away. 4th down. They move up. Hornet defense playing for a fake. They're looking at it. Here comes the punt. Justin Manny-Weather's going to let it hop. See if it takes a bounce for him. He says, no, get away. It's not worth the chance. And they don't. They're going to let it die at the 26. So with the ball dead at the 26 with 14:03 on the clock, It's the Hornets 42, the Gauchos 21. You're listening to Hornet Football on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, Ryan and Richie, somebody's got their glow on, because I tell you what, the Hornets are up by 21 right now. 14:03 to go here in the fourth quarter, and the offense looking for one more. Ladarius Skelton brings them out. Robert Johnson out wide to the right. Simpson in the slot on the right-hand side.
You just saw Kane Wilson and Malik.
They try to throw it to Darius Simpson.
I'm sorry, just on the screen you saw Kane Wilson and Malik Abdul-Haq on the sideline.
Incomplete pass, second down. And if you're Riverside, Bakersfield, and everybody else, you're thinking, okay, Saddleback should be able to handle Fullerton. You're looking at this score. Hand it right off the middle. Defensive play, not going anyplace, and this is what Saddleback wants to do, Corey, if they can shorten the opportunities for the Hornets. This is an offense that can strike quickly. We've seen it in that first half.
Now it's Kimani Keith on the stop. He's the outside in this 3-3 defense.
Third down and 10, right at the 25. Skelton looks over the defense. He's going to run, looks like the option, then flips it across the middle of the field. Finds Darius Simpson. Darius Simpson coming across the middle, gets out to the 45. They're going to mark him down at the 46.
Yeah, working against Tristan Kafensis, and he does a nice job. And that was maybe Ladarius Skelton's best throw of the game, because he rolled out, and on the run, he didn't even get a chance to set his feet. Throws a strike to Simpson.
Devontae Richardson now comes in the game. Devontae Richardson goes to the far left with Simpson and Justin Manyweather. First down and 10 at the 45. They get a jump. Ladarius Skelton says, I got a free play. Let's go deep. Wilson says, I got it. Oh, it drops out of his hand as Wilson goes by the defender, brushes him off, and almost gets a big play on an offsides or a free play for the Hornets.
Yeah, and a good no call down there with those two battling. Cordy and Wilson were working. Good no call. Wilson just lost his feet and couldn't come up with the catch. And Gerald Hewlett, he had 50 yards in the first half. He's got a few in the second half. This is the type of time in the game where he's going to rip off a big one.
First down and 5, right at the 50 for the Hornets. Skelton looks over, gives some hand signals out there. Gets ready to go. The defense flinches. They go down. They look back over. Wilson here over, wide to the right. Wilson. Ladarius Skelton keeps it himself, and Corey goes down the field, gets all the way down to the 20. So Skelton, who leads the conference in rushing, looks like he's going to continue at the end of this game.
Yeah, another 30-yard carry. And again, like I said, Hewlett or Skelton is going to do a good job of busting one.
First down and 10 at the 20.
There.
Wilson. Wilson looks over. Skelton looks over at Wilson. Wilson wide right. Hands it off to Hewlett. Hewlett looking for a block. Corey, he looks for the alley. Finds a great jump cut. What a move on a block. Boy, howdy, that was the prettiest one, and we can watch that replay again and again. And Corey, I'm going to let you take that because you love this young man as a running back. Guys, if we could get that, that was a great cut.
And that's his 9th touchdown of the season. And you watch the jump cut. We knew he was going to break one off. Right there, jump. Oops, excuse me. Go down to the sideline. And he reads his blocks so well and is so patient and never in a hurry to make the wrong move. 9th touchdown rushing of the season for Gerald Hewlett.
While a spotted kick is up, and the kick is good.
And you talk about the run game. Skelton's close to 100 yards. I believe he's over 100 yards now. Hewlett, 80 yards on the ground. That running game for Fullerton last 3-4 games is really picking up for the Hornets.
You know, let's go back since we have a second, because let's talk about Hewlett. We talked about him last week at Grossmont. He's one of the runners that you enjoy watching because he sets up his blockers. He helps his blockers But, Corey, he's one of the more patient runners, young runners, that I've seen in the game.
If he's 100% healthy, he's dynamic. He's one of the best Fullerton has seen. We heard a coach say last week that if Hewlett was on the 2013 team behind that offensive line, he may have been the number one back. Slow down a little bit on that one. Ryan Bird went over 1,000 yards. He's in the career record books. DeVore Johnson went over 1,000 yards. But if Gerald Hewlett, if one of those two weren't on there, or if you had all three, they might not have had to pass the ball the entire season because you would have 3 1,000-yard rushers.
I tell you, he's fun to watch run. Davis back deep on Wakiro. Davis is going to backpedal. He's going to take it right at the goal line. He looks for the 10, cuts the outside, shrugs away from one, dips, turns the corner, and runs out of bounds at the 20. It's the Hornets 49, the Gauchos 21. You're watching Hornet football. As we watch again on Davis. Watch Davis. He comes up here. He's going to outrun the first defender down there. Shrugs him off the way you shrug water off a raincoat. Then looks to go to the outside. If the field was wider, just a little, he'd still be running down there. Excellent running back. Fun young man to watch play. This is an excellent Gaucho football team. It's just one of those things every once in a while you run into another team that just seems that they got everything going for them this year, and that happens to be the Hornets. First down and 10 at the 20 for the Gauchos. Humphrey goes back, looking to flip it over, throws it. Pitch and catch. First down, we'll move the chain. So it's got to be hurry-up offense now for the Gauchos if you've got to go down there. That was Eldridge, Liam Eldridge, that picks that one up. So Liam Eldridge at wide receiver, far to the right. Allen far to the left. Davis comes over in the slot on the left-hand side. Humphrey goes again. So Liam Eldridge gets 2 back-to-back, and what's he do? He moves the chains back-to-back. 2 quick catches, 20 quick yards for the Gauchos. So Liam Eldridge comes in, gives a little different look. Humphrey brings them up quickly. First down and 10, right at the 44. Here comes the blitz. Humphrey throws it. Goes Allen. Allen just can't pull it in. He gets it knocked away. Nice little defensive play there by Taj Jones. It says, no, not on my watch. As Jones makes the defensive play for the Hornets. Taj Jones is just lurking against Allen on the right-hand side. You can hear the music. Timeout. That was Tim Bernson. Mark's going to sing. I'm going to call timeout. Timeout with 11:36 to go. It's the Hornets 49. The Gauchos 21. You're watching Hornet football on Sportsnet, USA.net. They beat Santa Ana 77-28. Then they played Cerritos, won that game 45-9. Then they went to Canyons, won that by 14, 42-28. Then they went to Mount Sac, came here, 49-23. They went to Moore Park, 57-0, and then they went to Grossmont, 78-9. Corey, there's really only been one close game, and that's College of the Canyons?
Yeah, it wasn't their crispest game, if you know what I mean. They weren't as sharp as they normally have been this season. So, yeah, it was close because of the score. It just simply wasn't crisp. So if they were crisp, they would have put up 2 more touchdowns.
Gauchos come back out. Second down and 10, right at the 43. Gauchos need to find some lightning in a bottle right about now. Humphrey goes back, looks to the middle of the field, throws it to Spearing. Spearing crosses the 50 down to the 49. They're going to mark him down at the 49-yard line.
And Humphrey now 8 of 13 for 76 yards, no touchdowns. Imari DiMercado had 130 yards in the first half on 10 carries, or 8 carries. He's got 3 carries in the second half for 1 yard. Clinton Allen, 3 catches in the first half, 99 yards, none in the second half.
Rome Innocence in the backfield. That's overshot Allen's head. So Rome Innocence, now the running back for the Gauchos. Humphrey looks over the sideline. 4th down and 4 at midfield. Coach McElroy trying to find something. Says, okay, guys, need this big 4th down play. Sparing goes in motion from left to right. Going over in his direction. Taken, picked. They're calling it out of bounds.
When he came down with it, he dropped it out of bounds. So Taj Jones could have had his 2nd interception of the season, waiting for it. And Humphrey rushed the throw. He rushed it just a little bit because he would have had Allen deeper if he takes not even 2 seconds. If he takes another half a beat and waits for Allen to clear, he might have 6.
So the Hornets are going to take.
So you have the replay here. You see ground level, a good pick. Taj Jones goes up, catches it at the end, and as he falls down, everybody's hands up and raised, and nope.
Do you know I look a little like Justin Manyweather? Did you see him when he had his arms out there? Both got about the same build. Justin and I. All right. Cade Wilson said, whatever you do, I hope you can run as fast as him as he tries to go up down the middle of the field. Corey Neyland said, now if you could run as fast as Justin Manyweather, it might give you something there.
I was going with look, but hey, that's okay. Mirrors, tell the truth. Kane Wilson, 18 of 23, 202, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Adarius Skelton, 1 of 10 for 19 yards, but 9 carries, 125 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground.
Spencer Owens out wide to the right, the big tight end out as a wide receiver on the right-hand side. Wilson goes underneath center, hands it off to Hewlett. Corey, he strides slowly, stays on his feet, and waltzes his way to the 45-yard line.
He now has 9 carries. If they give him 5 or 6, they give him 6. Now he has 9 carries for 80 yards. Kane Wilson, 7 for 76.
Wilson looks over the sideline, up underneath center. Hewlett the deep setback. 3rd down and 5. Wilson fakes it to him. Wilson says, well, if nobody wants me, let me flip the middle of the field. Jump ball, and Wilson waits maybe a second too long to throw it. Good coverage, incomplete pass.
No, that was Dante Hamilton all over the tight end, the big tight end out there in Spencer Owens. I think Hamilton had the coverage. It was going to have to be a better throw, perfect throw, for that to be completed.
So Rome Innocence is back deep for the Gauchos. Standing right at the 10-yard line. We're at the 10-minute mark in this game. It's the Hornets 49, the Gauchos 21 here on sports@usa.net. Well, off the side of the foot, kick, it bounces, then you bat it forward if you're a Hornet, and the ball is down.
The public house. Those donations were donated by Tom Dow. Tom Dow, former Troy Warrior.
Tom Duff, watch it at home. Fullerton in that first half.
Tom didn't make it today, and that makes me feel bad. I'd love to have Tom back here, especially with all the guys from 67 coming by. I'm sure Tom could have told us stories all day long here on sports@usa.net.
It definitely would have been a 3-man booth.
That's true. Ryan Osborne, I wish you were up here, because if you'd have seen Justin Manyweather, you'd have been confused on that shot. You'd have thought it was me standing in a Hornet uniform.
Or somebody that ate Justin Manyweather.
Max Gillum.
I'm just saying, I used to look like Justin Manyweather too. Of course, I was about 11 and about 250 pounds lighter.
About 3 yards. 2nd and 7 for the Gauchos.
But what Mark meant to say, Ryan, is it was a before and after pick. Mark is the before. Justin's the after.
There we go. Gillum comes back out, changing quarterbacks once again. They've got to find something. 2nd down and 8. DeMarcado goes out. looking for him. Gillum getting chased from behind. The fleet of foot of the defensive line does not allow him any time to throw the football.
And I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say Joey Noble is going to be the SCFA National Division Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Week.
Wait a minute, didn't you? Oh, of the week. Okay. You still have Montre Bonner as your guy for the year?
He's got 4.5 sacks. He doesn't have the sack total, but the way they've been blocking him, he's been a presence. And because he doesn't have the totals, he might not win it, but he's still going to be first team all conference because he's that special.
Allen comes out wide to the left. LaFleur goes out. Oh, wide to the right. Freeman in the slot on the right-hand side. Fullerton bringing it, going back. Allen catches it, turns the corner, stays on his feet, goes across the 40, out to the 42. A quiet second half, but he finally gets that big catch for the Gauchos.
First catch of the second half. And you have the replay. This time, Gilliam has time to throw and throws before Allen comes out of his break and makes a nice stop, makes a nice grab for 22 yards.
Gillum goes back, lets it go. Once again, throws it over.
A nice juggling catch by the receiver out there, Colin Kentros, as Montre Bonner, another quarterback here, hit Gilliam after the throw.
So Allen and Freeman out wide to left, Kentros out wide to the right. They're going to throw it over to Kentros' direction again, and Kentros says, if I catch one, I catch two. Let me almost get to the 40. He stretches just short of the 40-yard line. 8 minutes to go. Boy, you need to pick up the pace now if you're the Gauchos. 8 minutes left in this quarter. You're down by 4 touchdowns, Corey. You got to go. Pump fake, going down deep. Allen says, I got this. It's on me. He does. Touchdown, Gauchos.
And David Richardson bit on the pump fake like Taj Jones did the first time. This one results in a touchdown as Fullerton's up 49-21. They wanted to get some of the players in there. And that's one of those things Brian Crooks, as David Richardson was there, bit on the pump. And at that point in time, just tackle him so you don't give up the touchdown. Nice throw. Nice easy catch by Clinton Allen, team's leading receiver, 4-6.
I'm with Doris Simpson. He just turned around, sort of looks at the stands, and he's got his hands on top of his helmet. Doris, I'm with you. Yeah. Oh, please don't let this happen again.
No, you wanted to pitch a shutout in the second half. They put up 21 in the first half. That's their first points in the second. Fullerton wants the time to move.
So it's the Hornets 49, the Gauchos 28. You're watching Hornet football on SportsNetUSA.net. Once again, want to thank Fullerton College TV for making all these games possible. To everybody who puts in hours of time, which these young men, these young women do. Ryan.
Down here on the sideline, it's all about attitude. Listen to Coach Brian Crooks talk to his defense just before the last touchdown. He said he wants a better attitude from his team. He doesn't want them to get too cocky and too arrogant before they go into this last fourth quarter. Well, as of right now, Coach Crooks not happy here on the sideline. Back to you guys.
So you wonder now if are you at that stage of the game, you try an onside kick if you're the Gauchos?
Yep.
So the Gauchos line up with an onside kick. Mateo Thompson puts it on 35. Little pooch kick taken right there. The Hornets go down and get it. Ball bounces out. And what are we getting here? The officials stop the play immediately.
Onside kick, flag down.
They're going to call offside or illegal procedure on Saddleback. So it looks like they're going to call illegal procedure on one of the safety guys. And on that type of onside kick, Mark, you don't want to let it hit that second bounce. So if you can go up in the air and get it before it comes down for that second bounce, you got a better chance of getting it. And if you do get it, I'm still not sure about that one.
No, either am I. And what I never understood about this either. Okay, it's offsides. I'm going to move you back 5 yards. But guess what? You get to try the onside kick again. I've never liked this rule in football. You messed up.
Yeah, so it should be first down at the 35 for the Hornets if they have the chance to decline the penalty.
Yeah, I've never liked this rule because the kicking team gets another opportunity. So what? They move 5 yards back. They want the ball. The ball gets kicked out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. 5 yards from the spot where we out of bounds. First down, Fullerton.
So you can hear the official. They'll mark the ball 5 yards from where the ball went out of bounds. It went out of bounds
at the 45, so you got it at the 50. It's a nice job.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't that what he just said?
Yeah. So it went out of bounds at the 45. So where it went out of bounds. So it went out of bounds at the 45, so it should be first and 10 at the 50.
But it's first and 10 at the 45.
Yeah, he got it. Umpire says, come on, guys, come with me.
Hey.
Follow me.
The umpire probably went to Cal State Long Beach. He understands math.
Execution by Titan, though.
First down and 10 at the 50 for the Hornets. They almost get a jump right there. Kane Wilson looks over the sideline. Huffman out wide to the right. Grossman in the slot on the right-hand side. Robert Johnson out wide to the left. Rubber Downs the third with him. They hand it straight up the middle. Cut there. Spin. Turn. Down to the 35. And like Corey Neyland says, well, he's just warming up.
Gerald Hewlett, 99 yards against College of the Canyons. 95 yards against Grossmont last week. You got to get Gerald Hewlett. Pops right up the middle on a dive play. And you want him to get 100 yards.
Oh, yeah, I do.
He needs 5.
First down at 10, the 35. They said, Corey, you want 5 more yards? We'll run him. Take him off left tackle. No yards on that play.
2-4 with the stop. He's had a good game. He's got 6 tackles in this game.
But it's the Hornets now playing with the clock with 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 49, the Gauchos 28 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Kane Wilson tries to get a move, looks over the sideline. Huffman out wide right, Grossman in the slot. Johnson out wide left. Kane Wilson takes it himself, puts down his shoulder, gets across the 30, down to the 29. Brings up a workable third down for the Hornets.
Now you want to talk about your offensive line later in the season. This is game number 7 as you see the replay here as Kane Wilson lowers his shoulder again. So you say offensive line, how good do you want to be?
Kane Wilson wants his offensive line to be great because I think he'd love to not have to be him or Ladarius Skelton to run the football towards the end. Kane Wilson says, well, Mark, no, you're absolutely wrong. I'll take the beating.
You know what? I don't know if you don't go for it here. I mean, I know there's 6 minutes left in this game. And you would have liked to see Gerald Hewlett get that on a sweep play, see what he can do on the outside. But now do you run an option play to the right side? You got the far side of the field to work with and 3 good wide receivers that can block.
I send my wide receivers all down 6 yards and throw them the football. We must get the jump again. Kane Wilson's got something in that cadence, Corey, because you've seen Saddleback almost jump 3 times here now defensively. Wilson keeps it himself, runs through the middle, first down, Hornets.
Or like we said, give it to Kane Wilson, who just picked up another 10 yards. He's at 90 yards rushing in this game. So Fullerton well grounded against the Gauchos today.
First down and 10. Tom Duff, first down and 10. Kane Wilson says, now I'll look to throw it. Throws it to Marcus Grossman. Marcus Grossman gets knocked out of bounds as Grossman catches the ball, trying to get back in shape. Sat out a couple games because of a little tweak.
And Gerald Hewlett at the 9-yard line. Marcus Grossman off his injury. Nice job. A few catches here. Get him back in rhythm. And it's a first and goal. Gerald Hewlett likes to smell the end zone. coming on the outside.
Kane Wilson. Huffman over here on the right side. Now Hewlett goes from left to right. Kane Wilson changes it up again. Looks at the play clock, says we need to go. Kane Wilson says, I'll take it myself. Let me get close. They're going to mark him just short of the goal line. Ball bounces. Kane wanted that one.
Yeah,
you could tell.
He sees Blake Kennan coming from the outside on his left, and you see the replay. And DeGravio coming from his right. So that's going to leave the middle open one-on-one with their rover position, and Kane Wilson has the size.
Kane Wilson looks over the sideline. They're letting the clock run down as far as they can. We're at the 4-minute mark here. 2nd and goal for the Hornets. Kane Wilson looks back. Hewlett in the backfield. Kane Wilson says, nah, you know what? I'm not going to share this one. I'm keeping myself. It's like having a Snickers bar. I eat the whole thing. If I can't have the whole thing, I'm not giving it up. And we get a timeout on the field. Corey Neyland says, wait a minute, I don't like Snickers, so let's call timeout on that play. And with timeout, with 3:47 to go, it's the Hornets 49, the Gauchos 28. You've been watching Hornet football on sports.usa.net. We look at the sidelines. Offensive line coach, Coach Robinson's down there. Looking at the crowd, there's some proud parents of Hornet players. There's our championship dance squad. Always bringing spirits, that's right. Everybody pumped up. Next week, we're audio only. We head down to Palomar on sports.usa.net. Then we come back up here the week after. That game will be video. Orange Coast College here at Shapell Stadium. Then we end the regular season down at Golden West College. That game will be video also because remember, besides Fullerton College football, we have Golden West College football on sports.usa.net, LA Valley on sports.usa.net, and high school football. That's right, Catella High School next weekend here on sports.usa.net.
Catella versus Magnolia on Friday at 7 p.m.
Want to thank the Doghouse on Chapman. Yeah, I'll be by. You just start getting those hot dogs ready. I tell you, my mouth is watering. Delicious hot dogs and a variety of different foods and drinks at the Doghouse. We've got the jumbo package out there. It's the Ryan Osborne line. Shh. Wildcat for the Hornets. Hewlett says, that's easy. That's easy. I got 12 Ryan Osbornes in front of me, and I throw a little Corey Neyland on top. Touchdown, Hornets.
Yeah, even I could have scored on that one. We didn't mean that, Ryan.
What?
It's only 6 Ryan Osbornes and 5 of me. And that was so big, even Mark could have scored. So you mentioned Golden Rustler West football?
Mm-hmm. Golden Wester. Golden Wester football?
Hey, guys. So,
hold on, guys.
Oh, not yet.
Kick is up. Kick is good.
Hey, guys. So just an update from around the CCCAA. We got Orange Coast College over Grossmont 16-13 at the half. Also, we have Ventura, the team who beat Saddleback this season. They're beating Santa Monica 28-0. So just a little update from around the league. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Reggie. And Golden West Rustler football at 6 p.m. tonight. They're at Palomar. You know what's good about this game?
What's that?
We don't have to drive down to do that game like we did 2 years ago.
Hey, I got a question for you.
No, that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I got a question for you. So we had Paul Jones from Orange Lutheran on it. Was Paul Jones with us when we went up to Santa Monica College and met Tommy Smith?
He might have been.
I was just wondering that now. When they mentioned Santa, we had the pleasure of meeting Tommy Smith, the proud Olympian, when we went up there.
Yeah, you know what? He might have been. No, he wasn't.
He wasn't?
No, he wasn't because he was actually playing on that team. He played on the 2004 team.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he played on the 2004, 2003 team. So, no, he wasn't up there with us. That was another game that he went with us.
Okay.
And traveled.
Davis back deep. Ball's going to bounce out of bounds. That'll be a penalty against the Hornets. They'll bring it up. We're at the 3-minute, 43-second mark. It's the Hornets 56. The Gauchos 28. You are watching Hornet Football on Sportsnet, USA.net. To the television department here at Fullerton College, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much. And for those interested at home, hey, check out the TV department, the cinema department. I'll tell you what, the classes you can take will get you ready for that next career that maybe you want to take or just play with. Find out. Come on over and check them out. They have got some professionals that can teach you what to do behind the cameras here for Fullerton College. New quarterback in the game. Jack Talenko comes in the game at quarterback.
Now, Talenko does a nice job of throwing down the field and picking up positive yardage to Stephen Gudino.
So Gudino catches it. Talenko now in at quarterback. So first down and 10 at the 40. Talenko looks things over. Hands it off, sticks it up the middle. Defense shuts the door, and the defense, running defense, stepped up real big in the second half and changed maybe the outcome of the game.
Yeah, they did. The key play in the first half was DeMercado going 79 yards, and Saddleback realized these guys are not that good, and it really flustered and threw Fullerton's defense off balance. Second half, there's been no room to run at all for the Gauchos.
Nick Chapman out wide to left as a wide receiver. Talenko looking through the middle. Corey, there was a grab of the pads. No call. Do you see the flag?
No flag, but there should have been.
I was going to say, wait a minute. I mean, when you're running down the field and you go backwards and the officials doesn't throw it, and I know the score is 56-28, but come on, 2:47 to go. The young man's trying his best. Throw the flag, guys. Throw the flag. So Talenko at quarterback. Rome Inocense at running back. Out wide left is going to be Nick Chapman. Tony Quintero in the slot on the left-hand side. And inside Quintero is Stephen Gudino. Talenko goes back, going to pull it down, take it, flips it away, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
And you watch the replay, and the officials are trying to blow the whistle. But it's a nice job of staying with the play as Talenko drops back, being chased down, and that's Shane Darso. Yeah, that was an incomplete pass.
Fourth down for the Gauchos. Talenko goes back, trying to get protection. It's going to cross the middle of the field, throws it right there. Pitch and catch taken out of the air by Les Hampton. And Hampton out of Long Beach Wilson gets enough for a first down.
That's a jazz musician's name right there, Les Hampton.
It does, isn't it?
It was smooth on that catch, though, too.
Smooth sounds of Les Hampton out of the wide receiver. Hampton out wide to the right. Chapman out wide to the left. Talenko at quarterback. Inocense at the running back. Talenko's looking for something. Tries to get it there. Incomplete pass. Good coverage. A little high throw to Quintero. Coming across the middle. Tony Quintero can't pull it down for the Gauchos.
Cameron Powell was there on the coverage. In this game, even though it's the 7th game of the season, for a Fullerton College victory, you think it's important for them to get this win in the manner that they have gotten this win. They were down early. They were down at the half, and they come back against their rival and really take them out in the second half. And it tells you something more about this team that you learn when each hurdle comes up and how they respond to it.
We get timeout on the field with 2:11 to go. It's the Hornets 56, the Gauchos 28. You are watching Hornet football on Sportsnet USA.net. Again, to the Doghouse located on Chapman. Want to thank you for making this game possible on Sportsnet USA.net. 2555 East Chapman Avenue in Fullerton, and they've also got a Doghouse at 2800 North Main Street in Santa Ana. Check those out if you love hot dogs and a variety of different foods. Try out the Doghouse, an excellent place to go. Looking for that newer used car? Maybe just saying, hey, I just need something to do on Sundays. Well, I tell you what, if you don't want to watch football, head over to Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Look at some of those new cars, because you know what? It just might pique that curiosity, and you might just drive away with a new Toyota from Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located at Euclid in the 91. And if you do, on the way home, we'll stop and get some zombie donuts. That's right, Halloween's around the corner, and no better way to get a little spooky than to realize that size 32-inch belt just became a 34 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
I remember a 34-inch waist. Ooh, long time ago.
Delinko hands it off on a little fly sweep to Nick Chapman. Nick Chapman then tries to throw. We get flags on the play. A little trick play going on here all the way, trying to get something going. And if you're really trying to feel good about yourself, that's what Saddleback wants. Corey, let's quickly, before this game ends, we talked about the playoffs. This really, I mean, it hurts Saddleback, but it does not eliminate them in the playoffs.
It doesn't eliminate them, but it really hurts their chances when you take a look at the records. This is their second loss.
Yeah, second loss.
They've already lost to Ventura. Ventura has 2 losses.
Never heard of roughing the pass on a jet sweep option
I've
pass.
never
I just don't understand
when
that
there's a
penalty.
handoff in the backfield and
then you decide to throw it. That's no. He's a runner.
So yeah, I've never understood that rule. It's a rule, but I just don't get it.
Delinko looks over the sideline. We'll continue with the playoffs here, Corey, because I really look at Saddleback. Yeah, it's a tough loss, but I still think they're one of the teams in the conversation. Delinko goes back, getting time to throw, looking to throw it out there. Touchdown, Gauchos. On the money to Tony Quintero. And Quintero pulls it in with 2 minutes to play. So let's go back to that quick conversation.
I wish I could.
Oh, okay. And you watch Delinko take his time. Quintero clears himself out right on the hands. He catches it, gets those foot in. That's all you need in college football is 1 foot. He gets that first foot in. So the Gauchos get back on the board with 2 minutes to go. It's the Hornets 21. Waiting for the extra point. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. It's the Hornets 56. The Gauchos. That'll be 35. There it is. Thank you very much. 35 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And so when you look at those standings, Bakersfield in the National Northern League, National Northern Conference. It's college. It's a conference, not a league. Sorry. Bakersfield is 5-1. Ventura is 4-2. They're both 1-0 in their conference. Cerritos is 1-0 also, but they're at 3-3. That's how it sits in the Northern. So you've got Bakersfield and Ventura Ventura already beat Saddleback. In the Central, you have Riverside at 6-0, 1-0. El Camino 4-2, 1-0. El Camino lost to Saddleback. Long Beach 4-2, 1-0. Long Beach lost to Saddleback. Mount Sac 0-1, 4-2. No. Okay, you can't put Mount Sac in there in this conversation. So you've got El Camino, Long Beach, Ventura, Bakersfield with Saddleback in the conversation.
And right now it's leaning towards, because Saddleback won games, it's leaning towards Saddleback.
I'd say it's leaning towards Ventura since Ventura beat Saddleback.
Okay. Little squib kick right there, taken out of the air, right across the 50.
Because the only two teams in the National Southern, they say league, but conference, is Fullerton going to improve to 7-0, 2-0 in conference. Saddleback will drop to 5-2 and 1-1 in conference. Those are the only two. So Saddleback working with four other teams stay in the hunt for playoff consideration.
So with 1:59 to go, Ladarius Skelton comes back out. Out wide to left is going to be Malik Abdul Haq. really good wide receiver. Doesn't see the ball that often, but he's a great young man and a great wide receiver. Ladarius Skelton's going to keep him himself. So he's going to run out the clock, get the sideline, stay in. Finally gets knocked out of bounds, just short of the 40.
Mark, you missed an interview earlier at halftime. You see the gentleman in the blue and the guy in the dark blue over there?
Yeah.
Jamal Scott and Justin Parcells. Both of those guys, here's your replay as Ladarius Skelton gets around the corner, and he's just so fast. He brings so dynamic to the team that you just don't realize. And now people are realizing Jamal Scott and Justin Parcells. Justin Parcells, Defensive Player of the Year last year. Jamal Scott, an all-conference performer. Jamal Scott's getting a lot of playing time. Justin Parcells is getting playing time. D'Angelo Ross, best cover corner at New Mexico. These guys on last year's championship team, you realize why they were champions last year.
Second down and 3. Well, I do, because
you got the ring.
I got the ring on my finger.
See, that's the only reason Mark is getting in shape, lifting his hand with this heavy ring on.
Darius Skelton says, well, Corey, this is how I get in shape. Runs it, gets across, gets taken down at the 38, catches an uppercut underneath the chin at the 38.
And it's time to bring out Ladarius Skelton.
Here you watch it. Watch this, Corey, because he gets an uppercut right there under his chin. And you asked, he gets Johnny Photo is out there. Did Nick get that right? Did Nick call him Johnny Photo?
Yeah.
I always wonder what Nick's going. Isaiah Webb now in the game as a running back. Isaiah Webb takes it. I like this young man, too, because this man's got speed. Isaiah Webb gets down to the 30.
Fullerton's last loss to Saddleback last year. Last time they lost a game. So that's 7 games this year. 5 games as Isaiah Webb is there. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 games last year. It's a nice winning percentage, and they have backs and backs and backs.
They do. Dual Hawk out wide to left. Darius Simpson out on the left-hand side with him. Letting the clock run down. Webb at running back. We're at 34 seconds. Johnny Photo at quarterback.
Mark, you don't realize the Montre Bonner fan club was in full force on Twitter today. We'd like to see that.
Webb gets it again. Looks for the middle. Again, another very patient running back. Should have enough for a first down. They're going to stop if they have to move the chains. They did signal to stop the clock, but they decided to let it run, and they're going to let it run it all the way out. As we come to the end of the fourth quarter, your Fullerton College Hornets are going to stay undefeated. It's the Hornets 56, the Gauchos 35 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, the 67 team comes back. The state national champions 50 years ago, a team that just demolished everybody, ran all over on them, couldn't get beat by anybody, comes out to witness maybe a photocopy of them, or at least so far this season, it looks like a photocopy of that state national championship team. Nobody has played them tough yet.
Gerald Hewlett.
There's Gerald Hewlett,
for 95
our guy.
yards this game. Second game in a row that he ran for 95 yards. Maybe your dance moves.
Is that what my dance moves look like, Gerald's?
With the score of 56-35, big win, important win. Last year it was against Mount Sac, who they needed to beat, and they beat Mount Sac out at Mount Sac last year, 56-35. That propelled them to have so much confidence. You have to have confidence moving forward. Mark, take us on.
Well, the Hornets walk away with a big victory, and now they stay undefeated. Next week, we head on down to Palomar. That game's going to be audio on sports@usa.net. And then the week after, hey, it's Orange Coast College in the TV department. We're all back here at Shapell Stadium. But for right now, the team stays undefeated. We want to thank everybody for making this game possible. Miller Toyota, Zombie Donuts, The Doghouse, and Fullerton College TV. If it wasn't for Fullerton College TV, this just wouldn't happen here on Sportsnet, USA.net.